Hey April, how are you? Hi Sakura. Hi Whisper to Me. Hi Evie. Hi Lisa H. Hi the Bryan Clan. Hi Delia. Hi Brenda. Hi Chase. Hi Laura. Hey Just Jen. I'm good. I'm just, I didn't realize what time it was. I was working here on this, listening to this case and stuff because there's a new podcast by Keith Morrison on it and stuff. And then there was new documents that were released, so I got caught up in that and did not realize what time it was. Hey, what big guys? Hi, Maria Kitty Cats. Hi, Pat Miller. Hi, Tori. Hi, Peggy Johnson. Hey, Crazy Cat Lady. How are you doing? Hey, Alma. Hi, what big eyes? Did I get you? I think I did, right? Yeah. Hey, Tamlin. Hi, Lacey. So anyway, this case, I'm sure we've covered this case before during the summer sometime. And then she was sentenced, Pam Hupp was sentenced to life, not for Betsy's murder, but for another murder. And she laughed when they sentenced her because she's, well, wanted to appear in control all the time. And so she wanted to laugh, but she's not going to be in control. We'll go through this, but they released a lot of discovery in this case now, just this past week, the week before last. So I've been looking at that, and I'm not sure if you guys remember the case, but I'll go through the beginning. I'm going to go right from the discovery and just go through the case since we have a little bit of a lull before Frazee starts here. There's a fly in here that is driving me out of my mind, and I can't get rid of the darn thing. Okay. Hey, Janice. Hi, Hennessy. Hi, Deborah. Did I miss anybody? So I'm just going to pull that up. Hey, Julie. And you're going to Sassy. I don't know what is going on. She's having like these crazy dreams. So you're going to hear like that. She's going to do some ASMR. Hi, Two Scooter. Hi, Julie T. Hi, Carla. Hi, Mona. Put some food for the fly. It's driving me nuts, Mona. It really is. If I just suddenly, like, I don't know, just disappear, then I'm going to, like, just, I don't even know where Jimmy put the fly swatters. It's driving me out of my mind. It's probably because it's, like, dying, probably, because it's getting cold, and it's probably just, so it doesn't even know what it's doing. It's just being incredibly annoying. Hey, Sonia. Hi, Lonnie. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Grace. Oh, there it goes again. It's driving me insane. I know, Pat. I mean, it probably would like me to put it out of its misery, probably, if I can find the fly swatter, but... Well, yeah, it's chilly. Today is like rained. It was windy, so windy last night. And then now it's on my mic. And then what happened? Then it just, rained. Just that horrible, yucky rain. Hey, Doris Cabin, how are you? Hi, Leisha. Hey, Pencella. Hi, Sonia. I got you before, right? Hi, Wildlife. Hey, MC, who won the journal, I need your address. This is getting something like, I just can't give away this journal. Nobody wants to give. The rain brought the fly? No, I don't think the rain brought the fly. I think the colder temperatures, he's probably on his last legs. Your screen door keeps opening? Oh boy. Everything is good, Right as rain, and it is raining. Did I get your email, Sonia? You sent me a video, right? I saw it, but you have music on it, and I can't play it. I did look at it though, of your family. Very cute. Mommy for the win. Hi. Sam, hello. Hi, Stephanie L. Lisa, I got a Sharon. Danielle. Who else did I miss? Sunspot, how are you? Janelle. I feel like I missed some other people. Peggy, I got you earlier. Wake up, I got you, all right? Okay, so I'm just going to pull this up so we can just go into this case, and then we'll see, because this case is pretty interesting. And they just released a bunch of stuff. And I'll put it up here, but wait for the second. Okay, I will check that out. I will. I said I got involved in this. I didn't realize what time it was. Well, I was involved with my family all day, and then until everybody went to bed, and then I got involved in this. And so yeah, we had to make arrangements for Halloween. I've got some kids. Well, one kid, his father's in the hospital, or his father's out of the I don't know. He's coming with us. So we had to make arrangements for that. We had to do things about costumes and about school, all Sunday family stuff and, all that stuff, right? Have dinner, and there wasn't much we could do outside, but yeah, there was a lot of stuff, school stuff and all that good stuff. And then get the kids showered to bed. And then I, just came and did the haul video, got that up. What else did I do? Oh, I worked on my houses, so that was a little relaxation for me. We'll see, Janelle. She has to go through something on Tuesday, so we'll see. Good thoughts and prayers are very welcome. So, hi, Kathy. Hi, Tori. Did I get you? My full heart and hands. Hello. Whoops. See, there's the stupid fly again. I'm going to freak out. Thanks, Janelle. Well, we hope not, Janelle. We hope not. It's something that just has to go through a procedure, and hopefully we're praying and crossing our fingers and toes that everything comes out good. Okay. Hi, Sari. Hey, Lamb Chops. Thanks, Stephanie. Thank you, guys. Okay, so let me put that paperwork up on the screen. Let me get that so that you guys can read along. Where did I put it? Is it there? Is it there? Okay, so we'll start here. Oh, that wasn't good. Wasn't good. It jumped back. Let's see how that shows up. I got to move this over. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I see. I've got to move this over, and I'm going to move it over, don't worry. Okay. Hi, Molly Chickadee, how are you? Hi, Mary. Uh-oh, what happened to Crazy Cat Lady? What's so sad? You loved them today, Lisa? Thanks. Here in Perth, in a suburb just next to mine. Terrible news, so sad. 2 children, aged 6 years old and 10-year-old. Oh no. Oh, ow, that's not, ow was not for that. Ow was for the fly. They found, oh no, wow. Did she kill herself? Too, the mother, Crazy Cat Lady, or did she take off? What happened? I'm going to try to find something to hit the fly with. I've got a Time magazine here. Hold on a minute. Hold on, just, I'm going to see where he lands and try to get him. Please land on something that I can smack you on. Please. Please. Of course, now that he's not going to land, then he sees, no, not stupid. Keeps going over there. I know the minute I put this magazine down, he's going to come around. What's Peggy? Something's happening with Peggy too? What's prayers, please? I'm going for another appointment in the morning and need better news. I'm leaving chat, but I'll be listening. I don't think I'll be sleeping. And oh, of course, Peggy, prayers for your appointment that you get good news. She's in the hospital under police, attempted to take her own life. Oh, she did attempt to take her own life, Deborah? Any, I guess there's no, I mean, was she unconscious? Did she say why she did it or anything like that? Hey, Megan. How are you? Glad you can make it. Hi, Diana. Okay, now again, Sassy's going through this thing. I don't know what it is. She is having all these night things. So you could hear her. She's dreaming and she's very vocal. Okay, and I'm still waiting for the fly. Hi, Steph A. Hi, Donna. Hi, Michaela. Hi, Sass. Oh, I thought you were saying hi to Sassy Darcy and I missed her, but you're saying... Keith Moore. I know, Sarah. That's why I got into it. I think I did it in the summer. Once covered this case, and then I saw the Keith Morrison thing, and then I saw there was new documents that were released and all that stuff, so I got down that rabbit hole. No further news? She was conscious but taken to the hospital waiting. Okay, good. Well, maybe we'll start checking that out and see what's going on. Not good that it happened, you know what I mean? Good that you were telling us what happened, but not a good thing, not at all. Not at all. Why are these people doing this stuff? I don't understand. It's so ridiculous. They're taking their kids' lives. I mean, was it a half-hearted attempt? Like, was it a just something to make it look like they were attacked, or was she really taking her life? I wonder. And you know, if it was just to make it look like the attack, and I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with these people. They're nuts. Just absolutely nuts. I don't know how anybody doesn't realize that something is wrong with them before stuff like this happens, but I guess they're masters of hiding it, wearing a mask. It's sickening. It's sickening, and it keeps happening. And we're becoming, we're almost going to become desensitized to it because it just keeps happening. It's insane. Here she goes. All right, so Australian backpacker murder is dead now. What happened? Pam was on local news constantly. I was in a group trying to get Russ a retrial before he was released. Really, Surrey? Oh, maybe you come on and talk about it. Yeah. Do I have a thunder shirt? No, she just started this stuff. I don't know what she's doing. Maybe it's because I don't know. I don't know if I don't know. Okay, so let's look at this now. Yeah, Evie, I don't understand that either. That is just, it's so, to say it's not normal is the biggest understatement there could be. It's not even, I don't even want to go. It's just, something's really got to be very damaged, like extremely damaged, like shouldn't be in society ever again. Damaged. Okay, so this is the report date is from December 28th, 2011. Major case squad report synopsis. On Wednesday, December 28th, 2011, at approximately 1:30, the Lincoln County, Missouri Sheriff's Office requested the assistance of Major Case Squad of Greater St. Louis to aid in the homicide investigation of Elizabeth Betsy K. Faria. St. Peter's Lieutenant Mark Shimweg was the deputy commander. Lincoln County Detective Sergeant Ryan McCarrick was the deputy report officer, and evidence technician Becky Muller was the evidence officer. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. So prior to the squad's activation, the following information was reported by members of the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office. On December 27th, 2011, at approximately 21:40 hours, Deputy Chris Hollingsworth was dispatched to 130 Sumac Drive in Troy, Missouri. Did I say, what did I say? I said Missouri. Why am I thinking I said something else? For a report of a possible suicide. Lincoln County Communications received a 911 call from Russ Faria. I'm going to say Faria all the time. Faria, who advised his wife, Elizabeth, had committed suicide. For identification purposes, Russ and, I feel like calling her Betsy because that's what they call her, Betsy, shall hereafter be referred to as, oh, God, I swear I didn't just see that. Russ and Betsy. Good, we're thinking alike here. Deputy Hollingsworth said Russ was visibly upset when he made contact with him, but had limited tears coming from his eyes. Russ appeared to be in a state of panic, having difficulty talking and breathing. Hollingsworth said he observed the victim lying on the living room floor in a pool of blood with a large laceration on her right wrist and a black-handled knife protruding from the left side of her neck. Hollingsworth provided Russ a seat in his patrol vehicle while the crime scene was secured for Criminal Investigations Division. During this time, Russ said Betsy was diagnosed with breast cancer and had her breasts removed 2 years ago. Russ said Betsy still went to chemotherapy, receiving a treatment on the same date, and was on several medications. Russ said he works from home, but left the residence at approximately 1700 hours. Russ said he called Betsy at approximately 1730 hours to see if she wanted him to pick her up from her mother's residence in Lake St. Louis, Missouri, where she stayed the night on December 26th. Russ said Betsy told him that she was, hold on a minute. Where am I? Russ said Betsy told him she would have her friend Pam Hupp. Now, we know what happened with Pam Hupp, right? Her friend Pam Hupp. Bring her home after they finished playing a game. Russ said Betsy wanted to tell him something when she got home. And although she would not say what it was on the phone, she said it was something good. Russ said he was going to pick up dog food in O'Fallon, Missouri, then to his friend Mike Corbin's house in Lake St. Louis, Missouri. Russ said he normally visited Corbin on Tuesday nights. Hollingsworth asked Russ when he left Corbin's house. I'm paraphrasing this, okay? And Russ said he headed home at approximately 2100 hours. Russ said he stopped by an Arby's drive-thru for dinner and the U-Gas on Wentzville Parkway for cigarettes before heading home. Russ later told investigators he went to U-Gas before going to Corbin's residence. Did he call and ask Betsy if she wanted any Arby's? That's weird. Which was confirmed through surveillance video obtained at the gas station. Russ said he arrived at approximately 21:45 hours, put the dog food down by the door, and observed Betsy lying on the floor. Russ said he fell to the floor near Betsy for a few minutes before calling 911 on the landline. Hollingsworth asked Russ about the family dog, which later was identified as a Chow mixed breed. Russ said the dog was usually inside but was outside when he arrived. Russ said it was unusual for the dog to be outside for long periods of time. Hollingsworth said the dog was outside when he arrived. Well, okay, why do we have that repeated again? Hollingsworth said the dog was barking when he was at the residence in the same manner a dog would bark at strangers. Okay, investigators Mike Merkel and Patrick Harney arrived on scene, where Russ agreed to accompany them back to the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office. Russ said he stopped working investigations. Russ advised investigators he worked from home as an IT specialist for Enterprise Holdings. Russ said he ensured all the doors to the residence were locked before he left for the evening. Investigators later checked the residence, which revealed no signs of forced entry. Russ said he arrived at Corbin's residence at approximately 1800 hours. Russ said he went to get cigarettes and dog food while contacting Betsy via telephone to see if she needed a ride home from her mother's house. Russ said Betsy asked Pam Hupp to take her home. Russ said he called Betsy between 1700 and 1730 hours, which was the last time he spoke with her. Russ said a family friend, Bobby Wan, took Betsy to a chemotherapy appointment earlier in the afternoon. Investigators Jana Walters and Paul Barish later interviewed Bobby Wan, who confirmed she took Betsy to her chemotherapy appointment. Wan said Betsy was in good spirits when she was with her and confirmed that Hupp came to Janet Meyer's residence and took Betsy home at approximately 1830. Wan and Hupp called Meyer at approximately 20:45 to advise she had tried to call Betsy after she left her in Troy, but Betsy was not answering. Wan confirmed Betsy wanted to relay some news to Russ on the night of the murder. Wan said Betsy was going to tell Russ she wanted to move out of 130 Sumac Drive, renting the residence for extra income while moving into her sister's residence. Wan said Betsy's sister, Mary Rogers, was going to lose her home to foreclosure, and Betsy wanted to move in the residence with her mother, Janet Meyer. Investigator Merkel advised Russ of his constitutional rights per the Miranda decision, which he acknowledged. Russ asked if he was under arrest, and Investigator Merkel told him he was not. Investigator Merkel explained he was gathering information for the investigation. Russ and Betsy's daughters, Mariah and Leah, did not live with them. Russ said Mariah lived with Betsy's mother, and Leah lived with Betsy's sister, Julie Swaney. Russ said Leah lived with Sweeney because of past thefts from Meyer. Russ said Leah took checks from Betsy's purse and attempted to gain entry into his house when neither he nor Betsy were at home. Russ said he reported the incident to the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office. A call history inquiry at the address confirmed the incident. Russ filed with the Sheriff's Office in 2011. However, charges were not sought. An overall neighborhood inquiry of the Westbrook subdivision did not show any burglaries reported since 2006. Expanding inquiries into the surrounding areas, including a 2010 occurrence in St. Peters where Betsy was admitted for a psychiatric evaluation, and a 2005 verbal disturbance between Russ and Betsy at a residence in O'Fallon, Missouri. Russ said he and Betsy separated sometime around 2008. Russ recalled Betsy seeing a man from Warren County whom he could only identify as Rich. During the course of this investigation, multiple interviews identified possible affairs Betsy was engaged in during her marriage to Russ. Leah and Mariah Day's biological father, Tremus Day, Betsy's ex-husband, Mike Hillman, and the possibility of some unidentified guests at functions where Betsy would DJ were mentioned. In addition to interviews conducted with Day and Hillman, investigators also spoke with Devin Rogers and Clayton Peterson, the boyfriends of Leah and Mariah. All of the aforementioned subject alibis were investigated with the whereabouts verified. Okay. So Russ later said he did not have any affairs while with Betsy. Investigators Jana Walters and Paul Barish conducted an interview with Carissa Barton, who was identified as making comments about this investigation on a local media site. Barton said she had an affair with Russ after he contacted her on Facebook in April of 2010. Barton said she continued to meet Russ throughout the summer of 2010. Barton said Russ would drop Betsy off at the Siteman Cancer Center for her chemotherapy and then meet with her during Betsy's appointments. Barton said that she and Russ would engage in sexual activity during these encounters. Barton said that she provided Russ an ultimatum between herself and Betsy. Barton said Russ did not try to contact her again. Investigator Merkel asked Russ to describe his activities throughout the evening. Russ said he stopped at Conoco. Oh my gosh, there's that Conoco again. Prior to getting on Highway 61, Russ said he got gas in the truck and proceeded on the highway. Russ said he got cigarettes and dog food. However, he purchased cigarettes at U-Gas in Wentzville and the dog food at Green's Country Store on Highway N. Russ said he contacted his mother to cancel dinner plans because he had errands to run. Russ said he stopped at the QT on Highway N, it's okay, Sassy, and purchased a couple of iced teas after getting his cigarettes and the dog food. Russ said he went into Corbin's residence where they watched Conan and part of another movie. Russ said Brandon Sweetie, Marshall Bach, and Corbin's girlfriend, Angelia Julian, were also at Corbin's. Russ said Rich May could not make it because he had to work. Russ said May's absence meant they could not play their role-playing game, which is why they chose to watch the movies. Investigators learned details of the role-playing game through interviews with the subjects of Corbin's residence. The game was described as a fantasy game, where the aforementioned participants took on the role of characters comparable to those in Dungeons and Dragons. The use of hold on, I'm going to see if she wants me to, I'm going to just see if I can get her. Hold on a second and see if she wants me to get her up and hold her. Hold on. Well, otherwise, I don't know. I'll be right there. Okay, I've got her now. All right, so where was I? The role-playing game, right? Yeah. The aforementioned participants took on the role of characters comparable to those in Dungeons and Dragons. They used the use of edged weapons such as swords were a staple for the fight sequences in the game. Russ said he left Corbin's at approximately 2100 hours because he was tired. Russ said he stopped at the Arby's drive-thru and purchased a couple of sandwiches to eat on the way home and walked in the door of his residence at approximately 21:45 hours. Russ says he walked in the front door, he set the dog food down, and he started to call for Betsy. Russ said he noticed while he was taking off his jacket, Russ said he noticed Betsy while he was taking off his jacket and he fell to the floor. Russ said Betsy was not moving and he thought he needed to call 911. Russ said he first saw Betsy when he was placing his jacket on the chair. Russ said he thought Betsy was lying on the floor because she was not feeling well and he was going to go check on her. Russ said he fell to the floor next to her, advising he was approximately 12 inches from Betsy's body. Russ said he probably put his hands down when he got back up from the floor. Russ said he also was lying on the kitchen floor before deputies arrived. Why would he be lying on the kitchen floor? Investigator Merkel asked Russ if he went into any other rooms at the residence, and Russ said he was in the living room and the kitchen, but he didn't go anywhere else. Investigator Merkel asked Russ if he went down the hallway or into his bedroom, and he said no. Russ said he was wearing the same clothing he was wearing when he returned home, except for his jacket. When Investigator Merkel asked Russ why he did not embrace Betsy when he discovered her, Russ said she was already gone. Russ said he thought Betsy killed herself. However, he thought he would disturb the investigation if he touched anything, and she did not kill herself. Russ said he was unsure if she did it or if someone else did it. Russ said he tried to call somebody for help because he did not know what to do, and he knew Betsy was not with us anymore. When asked if he thought Betsy would do something like this to herself, Russ said he would like to think not. That sounds like Chris Watts when they asked him about the affairs. I would like to think she did. Okay. Russ mentioned Betsy wielding a knife at him during an argument sometime around 2004. Russ said he was cut on his right arm while trying to get the knife away from Betsy. He just remembers this 7-year incident just like that. Russ said he went to the hospital to get stitches. I guess, well, maybe it's traumatic. Where he informed the hospital staff he sustained his injuries from the glass in his shed. I obtained a copy of the 911 call Russ made from the residence. During the call, Russ told the operator Betsy killed herself and died on the living room floor. Russ was out of breath as he talked to the operator. When the operator asked Russ to check and see if Betsy was breathing, Russ said Betsy was dead. Russ asked why Betsy would do that to him and wanted to know what he was going to do. During the call, the tones of Russ's voice and the background noise changed as the conversation proceeded, appearing as though Russ was moving in and out of different rooms in the residence. At that time, the major case squad assumed all aspects of the investigation. The following information is a result of that investigation. Investigators Raymond, Floyd, and Keith Ryder conducted a second interview with Russ. While providing investigators with his first timeline, Russ offered the same sequence of events with the exception of two discrepancies. Russ initially gave UGAS as his first stop, later changing the location to Conoco. And Russ told investigators he left the front door to his residence unlocked when he left at 1700 hours. Russ said it was normal for him to leave the door unlocked. This contradicted his previous statement to Investigator Merkel, who he said he ensured the doors to the residence were locked. Russ identified the calls he made to Betsy and his mother, Lucia Faria. Investigators later reviewed Lucia, and who confirmed she received a call from her son at approximately 1700 hours. Russ told his mother he had to run errands and he was going to miss dinner with her. Okay, Russ added he received a phone call from an unknown number between 2000 and 2030 hours. Russ said this call went to voicemail, but he did not check it. Russ said he did not send any text messages or make any calls with his phone while he was at Corbin's residence. When later asked if he had any contact with Betsy after 1700 hours, Russ said he texted back and forth several times with Betsy to make arrangements for her to come home. Search warrants were later obtained for the examination of Russ and Betsy's cellular phones. Service provider records and the forensic examinations of the phones generated multiple leads for call histories and personal contact entries. These contacts, along with any other friends and acquaintances identified in relation to Russ and Betsy, were interviewed by investigators unless otherwise noted in this summation. The majority of those interviews did not produce any relevant information to this investigation. Investigators Floyd asked Russ about the family dog. Russ said the dog was chained outside, however, was usually inside. Russ said the dog would definitely bark at a stranger, and he did not think that a stranger would be able to put the dog on a chain because the dog was too aggressive. Investigator Floyd asked Russ if he noticed anything was missing or disturbed in the residence, and he said he did not notice anything, but added that he did not go through the residence. Investigator Floyd asked Russ if he was in any other rooms. Russ said he went into the kitchen to get his phone, but he did not go anywhere else. Russ said he stayed on the phone with the 911 operator until the police arrived. When asked if he touched Betsy, Russ said he could not remember. Russ said he might have touched her arm, but realized she was no longer with us. Investigator Floyd asked Russ what he thought happened to Betsy, and he said it looked like she killed herself. Russ said the knife in her neck looked like one of their steak or paring knives, and that she had slashes in her arm. Russ said Betsy would kill herself because she had cancer, however, did not talk about suicide since being put on medication some time ago. Investigator Floyd asked Russ to provide a written statement, and he agreed. The statement was entered into evidence. Investigator Floyd asked Russ to identify any life insurance policies he held, and Russ said Betsy had one through his employer, which had a face value of approximately $50,000, but she also had other policies. Russ said Betsy had between $300,000 and $400,000 in life insurance coverage, and he was the sole beneficiary. Russ said he increased the amounts of her life insurance policies in November of 2011, a month before this happened. Investigator Floyd asked Russ if Betsy made any specific requests for a portion of her life insurance proceeds to benefit anyone else, and he said no. After providing requests to the National Crime Insurance Bureau, I received documentation regarding two policies for Betsy. Mutual of Omaha identified a policy with a face value of $100,000, the prime beneficiary being Russ, with a contingent beneficiary of Betsy's sister, Mary Rogers. State Farm identified a second policy with the face value of $150,000. The prime beneficiary listed was Russ, with a successor beneficiary of Mary Rogers, and a final beneficiary of Russ's aunt, Deborah Shumsky. State Farm also provided a change of beneficiary form signed by Betsy on 12/23/2011, 4 days prior. Pamela Hupp was identified as the new sole beneficiary. Betsy's signature was witnessed by Lauren Manganelli, the librarian at the Winghaven Library Branch in O'Fallon, Missouri. At the time of this report, I have not received any of the documents requested from Russ's employer, Enterprise Holdings. In addition, no additional life insurance policies identified during a document search at the Faria's residence. Russ consented to investigators obtaining his DNA sample and evidentiary swabs of his hands and his feet. Both the consent forms and the samples were entered into evidence at approximately 11:20 hours. Investigators Floyd advised Russ of his Miranda rights. The rights waiver form bearing Russ's signature was also entered into evidence. Investigator Floyd asked Russ what he was wearing on 12/27 while he worked at home, and Russ said he was wearing the same shirt he had on during the interview, and either his black shorts with a red stripe or his blue sweatpants with a white stripe. Russ said he was also wearing his slippers. Russ was asked if he would consent to a polygraph, and Russ agreed, saying he had nothing to hide. Investigators Floyd and Ryder transported Russ to the Lake St. Louis police department where investigator Gary McIntyre administered the polygraph. At the conclusion of the exam, investigator McIntyre determined Russ showed significant deception throughout the relevant questions. Investigators Floyd and Ryder advised Russ he failed the exam. Investigators interviewed Russ about his involvement in the murder, which Russ continually denied. Russ said he found her like that when he came home. Acting on information provided by Pam Hupp in concurrent interviews, investigator Floyd and Russ asked Russ if he ever placed a pillow over Betsey's face and told her that was what it would feel like to die. Russ said he did not. Investigator Floyd asked Russ about bloodstains identified on his personal effects, which were located in his bedroom, and Russ said he could not explain how blood got on anything. Russ said he never went into his bedroom after he returned to the residence and found Betsey. Russ remained adamant with investigators regarding his innocence and requested his right to counsel. Investigators terminated the interview. Russ was transported to the Lincoln County Jail, where he was held pending the application of a warrant. Because the forensic evidence could not be completely processed during the time frame of the 24-hour hold, Russ was subsequently released on December 29th at approximately 16:30 hours. Investigators Dean Fry and Mike McCann verified the stops Russ said he made on 12/27. Russ arrived at Troy Conoco at approximately 17:16 hours and departed at approximately 17:20 hours. Russ arrived at Wentzville UGAS on Wentzville Parkway at approximately 17:31 hours and departed at approximately 17:32 hours. Russ purchased a bag of dog food at Green's grocery store at approximately 17:52 hours. Russ arrived at the Highway North Quick Trip at approximately 17:56 hours and departed at approximately 17:58. Russ appeared to be completing transactions at each location as he described them. Verifications were made at Conoco, UGAS, and Quick Trip by surveillance video seized at the respective locations and at Green's Country Store by a time-stamped register receipt. The Lake St. Louis Arby's did not have surveillance equipment. However, a time-stamped drive-through receipt was recovered in Russ's Ford Explorer by the St. Charles County Crime Scene Unit during the execution of a search warrant. The receipt indicated Russ purchased his dinner at approximately 21:09 hours by the timestamp at Arby's. However, investigators Keith Ryder and Steve Queen verified the timestamp at Arby's was 3 minutes faster than the clock at the Lincoln County 911 Communications Center. The route Russ traveled was also checked for surveillance cameras. However, the search was met with negative results. Investigator Raymond Floyd and Keith Ryder timed Russ's entire travel route. The investigators traveled the speed limit, which suggested Russ was exceeding the posted speed on 12/27. Investigator Floyd said it took them 15 minutes and 19 seconds to get from the Troy Conoco to the UGAS station, and according to surveillance cameras at the aforementioned locations, Russ traveled the same distance in approximately 11 minutes. Investigator Floyd said it took them 26 minutes and 30 seconds to travel from Lake St. Louis Arby's to the home address. Investigator Floyd advised he plotted the trip in MapQuest, which showed a distance of 24.86 miles. Investigator Robert Mousy traveled the same distance in 24 minutes and 15 seconds. The average time would suggest Russ would have made it back to his residence no later than 21:31 hours if he was traveling at the posted speed limit. This time frame is 14 minutes earlier than Russ provided investigators and approximately 9 minutes prior to the 911 call. Several investigators interviewed the subjects Russ said he was with: Michael Corbin, Angela Hullian, Brandon Sweeney, Marshall Bach, all corroborated, and the approximate times Russ provided for his arrival and departure from Corbin's residence. Rich May was also interviewed regarding his absence from the usual Tuesday night gathering. Investigators made contact with May's employer, Happy China, and confirmed Rich was working on 12/27. Investigators Patrick Harney and Rich Black obtained a search warrant for 130 Sumac Drive. In Troy, the St. Charles County Crime Scene Unit responded to the residence and processed the crime scene. While the scene was being processed, several items of evidentiary value were seized. Hold on, I'm just putting Sassy in. You want to go in your bed? Go ahead. You want to? I have to let her out for a sec. Hey, hold on a sec. You want to go out? Okay. Come on, let's go. Go ahead. Come on. Yeah. Oh. Stick on the wall. Okay. I'm gonna have to let her in a few minutes. What's cutting in and out? The sound is cutting in and out? Is the sound cutting in and out? Hold on a minute. The sound? Really? The sound is cutting in and out? It doesn't say anything on my thing. Fine. What do you mean? My screen is cutting in and out? The whole stream? Okay, we're good? All right. Okay, fine. You've had no buffering. I had no. Okay, all right. Maybe it's weather in your guys' area. I don't know. Okay, so where was I? So Happy China, we did that. While the scene was being processed, oh yeah, the cap Russ was wearing in the surveillance videos was found on the kitchen floor. A drop of blood on the inside of the cap was later determined to match Russ's DNA. A blood smear was identified on the light switch cover in the master bedroom, and multiple blood stains were identified on a pair of slippers in the master bedroom closet. Mariah Day was later escorted through the residence, where she identified the slippers as belonging to Russ. The blood on the light switch plate and the slippers were later determined to match Betsey's DNA. The only DNA recovered inside the slippers was a match to Russ. A blood stain was identified on Betsey's pants, possibly matching the paw print of the family dog. Russ maintained the dog was outside the residence when he returned home and remained outside after he arrived. It should be noted no visible blood evidence was identified on the vinyl floor between Betsey and the door used to put the dog outside. The knife block on the kitchen counter was seized, noting the knives left in the block appeared to be near identical to the knife found in Betsey's neck. A serrated knife was also located under the pillow Betsey was using on the couch. Lab analysis did not identify the presence of blood on this knife. A palm print was identified on the sliding glass doors leading to Faria's backyard. Search warrants were later obtained and executed for Russ's palm prints, clothing, and fingernails. At the time of this report, comparison results from the palm print to the patio door and the palm prints taken from Russ have not been obtained. Several other items of evidentiary value and photographs were taken by the St. Charles County Crime Scene Unit, which are detailed in sections 11 to 15 of this report. And hold on, I've got to let Sassy in. I'm coming, Sassy. Before I even see the screen, yes, Janelle, I locked the door and put the deadbolt on, and alarm system is in place. Okay, so where were we? Investigators made contact with Sharon and Harry DeVore at 120 Sumac Drive. Robertson Divorce said they heard their dogs barking at approximately 21:45. However, they could not offer anything further. This was the only relevant information obtained during the canvasses. Investigators Roger Mousey and Steve Queen interviewed Betsy's mother, Janet Meyer. Meyer said Betsy was not feeling well, so Pamela Hupp took her back to Troy. Meyer said she received a call from Hupp at approximately 20:52 hours who advised she could not reach Betsy on the phone after she dropped her off at home. Meyer said she attempted to contact Russ on his cell phone at approximately 21:30 hours, but was unsuccessful. Meyer said it was normal for Russ not to answer his phone. Let's see here. Investigator Mousey asked Meyer if she left Russ a message. Meyer said she did, but Russ did not call her back. Meyer said that was also not uncommon for Russ. Meyer said that she and her granddaughter Leah Day made repeated attempts to make phone contact with Betsy but were unable to reach her. Mariah Day remembered Betsy leaving with Hupp at approximately 18:30 and that her mother appeared to be happy when she left. Investigator Janet Walters and Paul Barish conducted an interview with the victim's oldest daughter, Leah Day. Leah said she lived with her aunt, who was Betsy's sister, Julie Swaney. Day said on 12/27, she filled out job applications until about 15:30 hours. Day said she and her cousin, Madeline Swaney, watched television programs until 1800 hours, and that her aunt and uncle arrived shortly thereafter, and they all made dinner together, and that she and her Aunt Julie left after dinner for the U.S. Cellular store. Leah said she called her mom at approximately 19:15 hours while they were on the way to the store. Leah said she talked to her mom, who advised her she was on the way home with Pam Hupp. Leah said that she and her Aunt Julie returned home at approximately 19:45 hours. Leah said she called her friend, Morgan Vetter, at approximately 2000 hours, and she let Vetter know that she would be leaving to pick her up at her residence in St. Charles, Missouri, and returned home with Vetter at approximately 2100 hours, and they watched a movie at the house, going to bed in the early morning hours of 12:28. Jay Swaney confirmed Day's timeline, and she was not aware of Day leaving after she returned with Vetter. In addition, investigators interviewed Vetter, who cooperated Leah's times. When asked about money, Leah said there were times when Russ would get angry over financial concerns. Leah said her mother was afraid to stand up to Russ and that he would yell at her for the smallest things. Leah said she knew her mom would stay at her grandmother's residence to avoid Russ. Leah said things were not going well between her mother and Russ, but her mother would act like things were fine to keep the peace within the family. Okay, so investigators Stephanie Kaiser and Perry Smith conducted multiple interviews with Betsy's friend, Pamela Hupp. Hupp said she drove Betsy home from her mother's residence, where she was playing a game with her friends and family. Hupp said she thought it was odd when Betsy told her Russ was originally going to take her home. Hupp said Betsy usually stayed at her mother's residence on Tuesday nights while Russ went to what she was told to be a weekly card game. Hupp said she was not sure what time they got to Betsy's, but knew she called her husband to tell him they arrived. Hupp said she and her husband asked her to call. Hupp said her husband asked her to call because she does not drive well at night. Hupp said the Nissan Russ was supposed to be driving was in the driveway and the house lights were off when they arrived. Hupp said Russ told Betsy he was going to leave the lights on and the door unlocked. Hupp said that she did not like the door being unlocked, but Betsy did not have her purse with her. Hupp said it was odd for Betsy to not have her purse because she lived out of it. When asked why Betsy was without it, Hupp said Russ told her to leave it at home. Hupp asked Betsy if Russ could have taken another vehicle, and she said no because he told her what he was driving. Hupp said she walked Betsy to the door and helped her turn on the lights as they entered the house. Hupp recalled Betsy saying Russ thought he was going to be home earlier. Hupp said that she and Betsy called her husband Mark Hupp. Hupp said Betsy wished Mark a happy new year, and she told her husband she was leaving. Hupp said she stayed and talked with Betsy for another 10 to 20 minutes. Hupp said Betsy let the dog out the back patio door. Hupp described the dog as aggressive, which scared Betsy. Hupp said Betsy showed her the Christmas present Russ got for her. Hupp said Betsy felt bad about the present, a jewelry chest, because she thought it was used. Hupp said she noticed a gash in the wood and a broken leg. Hupp said that the jewelry box was in the master bedroom, where Betsy told her Russ broke the leg, moving it across the floor. Hupp said she tried to call Betsy after she left, but Betsy never answered. Hupp said she was worried Betsy was mad at her for not staying longer. Hupp said Betsy originally wanted her to stay and watch movies with her, but said Russ would be home soon. Hupp said Betsy was sitting on the couch with a blanket and watching television when she left. Hupp said Russ made Betsy's friends uncomfortable because he was not nice to Betsy. Hupp said she believed Betsy stayed at her mother's residence for periods of time to avoid spending time with Russ. Betsy and Russ were degrading to her and often mentioned how much money he would have when she was gone. Hupp said Russ refused to pay off his extensive student loans when he continually deferred, using Betsy's illness as a reason. Hupp said Betsy was growing increasingly scared of Russ. Hupp said Betsy told her about an incident that occurred during the weekend before her murder. Betsy said Russ put a pillow over her face and said that was what it would feel like to die. Betsy said Russ acted afterwards like he was kidding. Hupp said Russ was also getting really mad at Betsy because her illness was causing her to wet the bed. Russ wanted Betsy to start using adult diapers so the bed would dry out. Betsy said she did not know what to do because she could not help it. Hupp discussed various life insurance policies Betsy talked with her about. Betsy said she had mentioned 2 policies totaling $250,000. Betsy asked Hupp to be the beneficiary on one policy, advising she was going to make her cousin Linda the beneficiary of the other. Betsy said she could not make her daughters or her mother a beneficiary because they would blow the money. Hupp said Betsy trusted her to protect the money for the girls. Hupp said she was not comfortable with the request, but agreed to do it. I'm not really comfortable with this, but okay, I'll do it. Hupp said she warned Betsy that Russ would find out about the changes. Hupp said Betsy did not want Russ to have the money because he was always talking about receiving it, and he was not going to abide by her wishes with the money disbursement. Hupp said she and Betsy met at the Winghaven Library in O'Fallon, Missouri for the beneficiary change. I'm going to call her Pam now. I can't stand this Hupp. Pam said Betsy wanted to return later with Linda to change the other policy. Pam said she was nervous because she did not receive some forms from Betsy that she was supposed to send her regarding the changes. Pam said she was worried Russ was going to find the documents, which Betsy said she left on her computer. Pam said Betsy was going to send the forms to her because she believed Russ was hacking into her computer. Before the interview ended, Pam recalled another event she found odd. Pam said Betsy asked her to get some Gatorade bottles Russ packed for her during a workout sometime around December 23rd. Pam said Betsy immediately began to gag. Hold on a minute, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. And let me just get a drink here. To gag and spit her Gatorade out after taking a large drink. Betsy told Hupp it was the worst taste she ever experienced. Hupp said she looked at the Gatorade, which she described as cloudy, with no odor. Pam said she told Betsy to return the bottles to the store, and at the time she dismissed the event. Investigators did not locate any Gatorade bottles during the course of the investigation. Pam provided investigators with photographs and swabs of her body, particularly her face and her hands and the clothing she was wearing when she dropped Betsy off at her residence. Pam provided her cellular telephone for examination and also consented to a polygraph. It should be noted, Pam's physician later denied her medical release for the polygraph examination. Investigators conducted an interview with Pam's husband, Mark. Mark said he was home alone on December 27th. Mark said his wife, Pam, took Betsy to her chemotherapy appointment and spent the day with her. Mark said he received a call from Pam at approximately 1904 hours. However, his cell phone was in his truck and he didn't answer it. Mark said he later heard a voicemail left by Betsy and his wife, which he played for investigators. During the voicemail, Pam said she was getting ready to leave Betsy's residence and come home, but Betsy got on the phone and wished Mark a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Investigators Mike Merkel and Brett Mitchell attended the victim's post-mortem examination conducted by Dr. Kamal Sabharwal, MD, at the St. Louis County Medical Examiner's Office. The doctor identified an extensive list of injuries to Betsy's body. 55 stab wounds were identified and described in detail by the doctor in the pathology findings, summarized here as the following wounds: a head wound, a lower left eyelid wound, 2 left ear wounds, 2 left post-auricular wounds, 10 neck wounds, 5 left shoulder wounds, 1 chest wound, 15 left arm wounds, 5 abdomen wounds, 2 back wounds, and 11 wounds to the right arm, wrist, and hand. The doctor also noted stab wounds to the victim's lungs, liver, pancreas, and spleen. In addition, soft tissue injuries to the victim's neck, chest, back, right shoulder, and left and right arms were documented by the doctor. The doctor identified the cause of death as stab wounds to the neck, chest, and abdomen, with the manner of death listed as homicide. On December 31st, New Year's Eve, the major case squad was deactivated. Any further information regarding this case will be submitted in supplement to the original file. Okay, so you haven't heard of this case? Yeah, well, spoiler alert, he was in jail for this, and then evidence came out where it was that Pam had some doing in here, and she was sentenced to life in August, and hold on a minute. What? Sorry? Is Sorry still here? Sorry knows a lot about. You want to come on and talk about this case? Sorry, you said you know a lot about this case. Do you want to talk about it? Is Sorry still here? The husband claims suicide, right? Is she still? Let's see if she wants to come on and talk about it. It seems like she knows a lot about it. Sorry, you want to come on and talk about it? You don't have to go on camera. There's a lot of information that's been released on this. Hi there, Angela Callie. We've talked about this case once. I think it was during the summer when stuff was going on there. Does Sorry want to come on? Now when I move that thing, now I'm all like out of. She's sorry. Is it just me? No, I'm not on mute. No. You can't hear me? It's just you then. Okay, well, let me show you some pictures then, and if Sorry comes on, yeah, well, no, Pam, well, Pam killed okay. Pam might be a serial killer. Yeah. Pam has issues. What happened, Diana? What do you need? Okay, I'm going to all right, let me get the other, let me see what else I have here. Okay, so we have interview of Russ. Did we go over that? Yeah. Let's see. Autopsies of victims. Let's see what else is. So let's just go through, now that okay. So Betsy and Russ were, by all outward appearances, a happily married couple, but their marriage, unbeknownst to both of them, was full of secrets and desires which neither of them would discover until it was too late. Okay, oh, and I have your pictures here. Hang on, let me see here. So this should be this one. Let's see. No, that's the wrong one. Hold on. Should be this one. So that's the one we want right now. Okay. We would all like to think we could trust the person we love, and indeed most of us do so implicitly. But what if the person we love isn't exactly who they say they are? What if that person is someone whom we've given, who we've given our all to, is capable of things we never expect? 911 operators in Troy, Missouri, had received, as they often do, a frantic call from a man in desperation. It was difficult, but phone operators did their best to discern what the man needed through his anguished sobs. The man told them he wanted police to come to his house right away because he'd come home to find his wife, Betsy, dead. Authorities raced to his house, but by the time they arrived, it was too late. Betsy was indeed dead at the scene, her body splayed out on the couch with a steak knife protruding from her neck. Russ, her husband, told police he was certain his wife had committed suicide, but the 55 stab wounds on her body told them a very different story. Okay, and let's see here. Here's a picture of his slippers, the ones that they mentioned in that, what we just read. Investigators, quite sure that Betsy had been murdered, began to search the house for more clues. Russell's bloody slippers, a surefire clue that someone wasn't being completely honest, were discovered in his closet. And then the investigators discovered a note in Betsy's laptop, which proclaimed she was afraid of her husband. Meanwhile, Russ was being questioned by officers outside. He told them that he believed Betsy had committed suicide because she had been suffering greatly from breast and liver cancer. Hold on a minute, I think, is this the one I want now? Let me see here. Let me see if that's the one. Yeah, that's Russ being questioned. She had spoken freely about wanting to take her own life if things got bad, and Russ figured that his poor wife had simply had enough. Still, the evidence against him was pretty damning. The problem was, Russ had a pretty good alibi. He had been out with friends earlier in the evening, and they had gone to the movies, and then they didn't go to the movies, they were at his friend's house, and then to a nearby Arby's, and he had proof both in his ticket stubs and his receipts. He went out to get the dog food, he went out to get Arby's, he was playing the Dungeons and Dragons thing, and so yeah, he had all that stuff, and the CCTV held up that he was where he was supposed to be, but then remember his timeline was a little fast, he was speeding. Okay. As for Betsy, she had last been seen alive around 7 p.m. when her close friend Pam Hupp, who was also aware of cancer concerns, had dropped her off at home. According to Pam, her friend had been very much alive when she dropped her home. So what happened between that moment and the time Russ called 911? Let's see what else we have. Let's see, what is this one? There's Russ. Betsy was cold to the touch when Russ and the police arrived. Based on the projected time of death, it was evident that she must have been killed somewhere before Russ got home. There was no physical way Russ could have killed his wife in the time frame given, but yeah, the time frame was early. The district attorney's office was a bit of a pickle. They had no other suspects in the murder. Regardless of the inconsistencies and lack of evidence, they decided to proceed against her husband. He was arrested and charged with the murder on the basis of the slippers, and he failed the polygraph, remember. During the trial, Russ's defense team argued that both the slippers and the note had purposely been placed in a half-hearted attempt to frame him for his wife's murder. Once again, they cited the real evidence and the proof of his night out with friends. It was impossible for Russ to have killed his wife in the time frame given. Oh, that's Pam. We don't want Pam right now. That's the one we want. Still, despite the evidence being in his favor, the jury didn't believe him. Russ Faria was found guilty and sentenced to life imprisonment for the murder of his wife, Elizabeth Betsy Faria. The idea was that Russ would serve out the rest of his days in state prison, but some years after the trial ended, some new evidence came to light. Russ had only spent 2 years behind bars when his lawyer called him with some good news. He warned him that it was both good and bad. The good news was that someone came forward with what could be exonerating evidence, but the bad was that it came at the revelation of his deceased wife's infidelity. Apparently, hold on, let me get another picture up here. Betsy had been involved in a long-term lesbian love affair with her best friend, Pam Hupp. Not only had the two been secretly intimate for some time, but Pamela had not a few days before her lover's death been made the beneficiary of $150,000 in life insurance. Okay, hold on. I just took a drink and I just spilled it all over the front of my shirt. Okay, in my face. Don't even ask how. I don't even know. Okay. The life insurance policy from Betsy. As if that weren't enough to thicken the plot, that life insurance policy was handled completely in secret. The change in beneficiary was something that no other family member or friend knew about, and that, put together with the fact that Pam had made uncorroborated allegations about Russ during the investigation, created reasonable doubt. Pam's plan had worked. Russ had become the only suspect. However, her story about dropping Betsy home at 7 the night she was murdered was a lie. She claimed she went right home after dropping Betsy off, but it was later proven that Pam was still in the area of Betsy's home for at least a half an hour later. So, let's see here. Hang on. Russ was acquitted of the murder and released from prison. But there, let's see, then we had, this was, there were lingering questions still, because Pam denies having anything to do, of course, with the murders, and unfortunately, there was no evidence at this time solid enough to warrant a case against her. But as things happen, usually when someone is, when someone's does something, it's a pattern, and like I said, it's believed she might even be a serial killer. So, a few years later, there was another frantic call to 911, and it was on August 16th at 12:08 p.m., and another 911 operator was on the end of that line. And on the other end of the line was Pam. She told the operator that someone had broken into her Missouri home and that she had shot the intruder, 33-year-old Louis Gumpenberger, in self-defense. And let me see, here is Louis. Officers that arrived at the scene were more than a little skeptical of Pam's claim. They found $900 and a note in Gumpenberger's pant pockets, and that rewarded their skepticism because the note had telling information on it, including another scheme that would cost Pam her life. had she not been the one who conceived it. So the second scheme, hold on, get into that of Pam's here. The note had instructions for Gumpenberger to kidnap Pam, to get Russ's money from Pam at her bank, and then kill Pam in order to collect the rest of the $10,000. The name Faria was also on the note. It was enough for authorities to believe Gumpenberger had been led there to his death by Pam. Since the night of that shooting, Pam was on the night of that shooting, Pam was charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action in the death of Louis Gumpenberger. The district attorney believes that she had hired the man to attempt to kill her so that it looked like the recently exonerated Russ had done so in order to collect the rest of the insurance money. And it seems her fate was sealed. And then, let's see here, let's get to the rest of what happened here. Hang on. Okay, and on, Pam faced life in prison after admitting Wednesday, this was the week of June 19th, 2019, that prosecutors have enough evidence to convict her for the August 2016 murder of Louis Gumpenberger. So in a St. Charles, Missouri courtroom, she entered an Alford plea. That's, remember, staircase guy, Michael Peterson, allowing her to avoid the death penalty trial without admitting guilt in the case. Hold on a second. She's got like a cool pack on her neck. It kind of looks like something else is on her neck. That looks odd. Okay. We did ask for the death penalty in this case. She's not going to get the death penalty. She's going to get life in prison without the possibility of parole. So she will never spend another day of her life outside of a prison cell, said St. Charles County, Missouri prosecuting attorney Tim Lomar. As I stand here today, I tell you, I believe she deserves to be put to death. The prosecutor added that Pam's Alford plea doesn't surprise him. I don't think she has the courage to state she did it. She's shown she's a coward and manipulative from day one, he said, adding that we may never hear her accept any responsibility for this. Gumpenberger's family is very supportive of waiving the death penalty, as their preference was that she serves the rest of her life behind bars, according to the prosecutor. This culminates nearly a 3-year effort to finally bring some justice and closure to the victim's family, Lomar said at the hearing. They have been extremely patient throughout the process. Death penalty cases seem to drag on longer than they should. This case was no different. And let's see. The evidence in this case, in my opinion, was overwhelming since day one, Lomar told reporters. That during one of Pam's interviews with police, she took a pen left sitting on the table, undetermined death of her own mother, Shirley Newman. That was something that we had spoken about early on in this process. If she wants to tell us about this case or any other case she has information about, we'd certainly listen. She didn't take our offer, Lomar said. Pam was the last known person to see Betsy alive before she was stabbed to death in her home in late December of 2011. 4 days before the murder, Betsy, who suffered from terminal cancer, had made Pam the beneficiary of a $150,000 life insurance policy. It was a change none of Betsy's other friends or families knew about. Betsy's husband, Russ, was tried and convicted for his wife's 2013 murder. Pam had been the state's key witness in the case against him. Russ Faria's conviction was later overturned. At his retrial, by another judge in November 2015, Faria's defense attorney pointed to Hupp as the one with the most motive and opportunity to kill Betsey. Though she was not called by either side to testify, Faria was found not guilty. Pam has repeatedly denied any involvement in Betsy Faria's murder. Pam has never been charged in connection with Betsey's murder, but newly elected Lincoln County Prosecuting Attorney Mike Wood said that now that the St. Charles case against Pam is resolved, he's reopening the Betsy Faria murder case. It's completely appropriate with its being unsolved with Russ Faria's acquittal. Prosecuting Attorney Wood said, "It's time to pull that file out and look at this case again." Pam was sentenced on August 12th, okay? And that's when she laughed when she got a life sentence. And let's see here. The 911 call that she made was something that really tipped them off, because she called and didn't say anything at first, then hung up, then called back again. Let's see if they mentioned that here. Prosecuting Attorney Lomar told reporters his theory is that Pam had concocted an elaborate plan to frame Russ for his wife Betsey's murder. The plan, according to the prosecuting attorney Lomar, was to make it appear that Russ had hired a hitman to murder Pam and that he could get the insurance money that was given to her after Betsey's murder. In November of 2017, the manner of death for Pam's mother was changed from accidental to undetermined. Police found Pam's mother, Shirley Newman, dead on the ground below her balcony at a senior living facility in Fenton, Missouri in 2013. The railing on her balcony above had been broken. Newman was 77. Suzanne McCune, an administrator with the St. Louis Medical Examiner's Office, said that Dr. Mary Case felt the information and evidence that had been brought forth since Newman's death was sufficient to indicate that accident was no longer an appropriate determination. McCune said the manner of death to be determined as an accident, the fatal injuries must be deemed as unintentional. This, she said, is no longer true in Newman's case. That's not to say it's intentional, McCune added. Rather, it's to say that the amount of evidence available is no longer clear and compelling enough to indicate that it was an accident. No criminal charges have been filed in connection with Shirley Newman's death. Okay, and then let's get her sentencing, because she laughed at her sentencing. Okay, so Pam will spend the rest of her life behind bars for the 2016 murder. She appeared in the St. Charles County courtroom. Let's see, she cut a deal in June to avoid the death penalty in Gumpenberger's murder. She entered an Alford plea acknowledging county prosecutors had enough evidence to convict her of murder and agreed to a sentence of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Before the hearing, Pam could be seen joking and laughing with her attorneys. At one point, she laughed so hard she hunched over. When the hearing began, the victim's sister asked to speak in open court. Crystal Kahn said Pam was not human and probably a serial killer. Pam had claimed Gumpenberger invaded her home 3 years ago and that she killed him in self-defense. The state learned that she set him up in a plan to frame him for another murder. St. Charles County Prosecutor Tim Lomar said this about Pam's bubbly demeanor. She's been manipulative the whole way. She wants everybody to believe she's still in control. She's lost control, and she's never going to have control again. So I think this was just one more way for her to try to hold on to one more last little bit she can. The victim's mother, Margaret Birch, spoke after the hearing. She said, "I feel at ease. I'm glad it's over," she said. "My grandson's here with me, and he's never expressed his feelings about everything, and I can tell he's happy. He's glad it's over." Birch mentioned only one regret. "Pam had the chance to put her hands on my son, and I didn't get the chance to do the same with her," she said. No one from Pam's family showed up to court. Pam's legal problems are far from over. Mike Wood is going to take another look at the murder of Betsy Faria. Pam benefited from Faria's $150,000 life insurance proceeds, which were signed over to her just days before she was murdered. In 2013, Faria's husband was found guilty of killing his wife, but a new trial 2 years later, a judge found he was not guilty, and while raising questions of Pam's possible involvement. So that is where we are, and there's a lot of information that was released, but interesting case. Okay. So, wake up. Wake up. 3:33. Hey, we just ended at, that's our lucky, that's lucky. 3:33. Jennifer James, cold-blooded, right? Look, we did it. We did it. 3:33. That was perfect timing. Meant to be. You're thinking of stopping so you won't get murdered? There are pics of her pen wounds. It's so gross. I believe it. There are a lot of pics, yeah. I typed and waited to hit the send button. So what does everyone think about that? Did Sari ever show up again? Or maybe she fell asleep. Maybe she is still in this chat, but she fell asleep. Somebody did it the other night. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Kindness Cake. Hi, The Simple Joys. Thank you, Simple Joys. You haven't seen her? She was here earlier. Hi, Sarah. I like the video. As soon as I click on it, as long as you're a regular channel, I watch. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I guess. Hey, Kayla. Yikes is what you think? Yikes. That's one screwy case. Right, Sharon? You're welcome. Very interesting case. I figured, well, we needed something before Frazee, and I got involved in it, and I didn't have anything else, so that's what we got. Wicked. Yeah, very wicked. But that other case, that crazy cat lady was talking about, that's something, because that's a crazy mother killing her 2 children. Serial killer, very possible. Yeah, Jennifer James, right? Hey, Hurricane Hunter. Anybody have anything else they want to talk about? We have things we want to talk about. She definitely killed both. So why would you think that he failed the lie detector? Do you think he had something to do? Why do you think he failed? It's live too, Scooter. Is it live or is it Memorex? It's live. Luna fell asleep on top of you. I have Sassy. Sassy went to sleep in there, and she's quiet now. It blew your mind. Every 5 minutes I was like, what? So many crazy turns, right? He knew more than he admitted. Right, Lisa, I know. Hey, Angel Callie. How are you doing? They aren't accurate. That's why they're not allowed in court. Will you wear your wig for Halloween? I don't know what I'm going to do for Halloween. Thank you for reminding me. The mask giveaway is up on my blog. Anybody that wants to enter the mask giveaway, I'm going to see if I can do a quick video to put just put it up, but I don't know if I will get to it. I wanted to get it up for the company. You can pick any mask up to $100. So the winner gets their choice of any mask on there. They're handmade in Italy. So go enter if you want to. The MommyRamblingsBlog blog. It'll be the first one up on the homepage right there. It'll be up on the homepage. Hi, Bethany. He failed the test as he was wishful thinking the crime. I'm doing okay. How are you doing, Andrew? Cal, you doing okay? I'm thinking about what I have to get to bake the apple cake and if I have everything. That's what I'm thinking about right now. I just thought about the apple cake for Friday. If you want to bake the apple cake with us, oh my gosh, I forgot to ask Jimmy where he put my tube pan. Otherwise, I'm going to have to buy another one. I better ask him tomorrow so I can order it from Amazon and get it here in time. And then I'll find it right after I get another one. And I'll just give it to my daughter. Something, I don't know. Oh, it's not they're not scary masks. They're those handmade. Well, you can look, the site and everything. You can just go to the blog post and you'll see it all. Hi, Casbot. And MC or whoever won the journal, that wildlife, I don't know. I think I'm just going to send the journal to you. I don't know what's going on. I think they said MC won or whoever won. And what's the matter, Sass? You going back to sleep now again? I sent, I said send me your address so I can get this out of here, and it's still sitting next to me. Yeah, MC Camp. Is that who won? MC Camps, right? I think so. Hi, Kristen. Now, Kristen, you know what I thought? What did I think? I thought about something, and I said, oh, you don't have to call, I could just, you want to practice Zoom, right? So all you have to do with me is I have to give you the number in Zoom, and then you and I can meet face to face in a Zoom meeting. And that way, right? Is that what you want to do? You want to come onto Zoom and make sure you can come onto Zoom? And Lisa wants to call me for about the Amityville thing, and that's Wednesday. Lisa, just call me anytime. Didn't I give you I gave you my number, didn't I? I'm so confused now, Lisa. You checked and screenshot it? Okay. Well, MC Camps, I need your address so I can get you the journal. Okay, but I need to download the Zoom app. How are you going to go on, Kristen? How are you going to go on Zoom? Are you going on a phone? Yeah. I think, right? For Kristen to come on, she has to have the app. Your daughter up for the pie. She eats it after she says. I did Edward Scissorhands, one top price in 2 places. Did you? Oh, you mean for a costume? Please tell me if I'm wrong, but I broke an anxiety thing. You put your finger in. My finger wasn't even sweaty. My panic was out of control. I don't know what you're talking about, Stephanie. What are you talking about? What panic thing? When we make the pie, she's going to eat it. Oh, the cake? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, she can eat it. Was it his blood, though? Ethel, what are we talking about? Ethel, are you back in the chat? Pizza for a year and money. Oh, pizza for a year is good. Money is good. Both good. Very good. With a doctor A test, I was so nervous and in a state of panic, I broke the doctor's machine. Oh, wow. Why were you panicked? What were you doing? She's really happy as Mommy says she gets to eat the cake. You get to eat the cake, as much cake as you want. You can have the cake and eat it too. All of it. I'm going to give my apple cake to my mother. I don't need the calories. Hee hee. Have one piece. Life's short, Diana. Eat the cake. One piece. How will you know if it's good or not? Really know. I mean, your mother can tell you it's great, but is your mother just telling you it's great because she's like, oh, Diana, that was great. But, or, you know, she really means it. You have to have one piece. Why is Two Scooter embarrassed? Okay, one piece, twisted your arm, right? You suffer from CPTSD and anxiety and agoraphobia and multiple traumatic events. Oh, wow. That doesn't sound like a fun test then. Oh, Boris and Natasha with the moose. I have Bullwinkle. I do. And I have the little I have almost all this, the Rocky the squirrel with his little helmet on, and you know what you are, right? That's exactly what my mom would say. I'm sorry to hear that, Stephanie. Rocky and Bullwinkle. Opinions. 0 points for the rest of the week. Who has 0 points for the rest of the week? Me, Sonia? No points? I didn't know we got points. Luke has a demerit system in his school. And if the kids don't stay at 96 points, like for every demerit, they'll lose 2 points and it goes in 5 weeks. And if you fall below a 96, you don't get to go on this huge trip at the end of the year. You mess it up and you're done. Okay? And demerits are everything from like taking too long in the bathroom to talking in the hallway. So every day I come home and it's like, and then the whole class can get demerits. And they do. Like if like someone's talking in the line, the whole class gets the demerit. And it's kind of messed up. It is. Yeah, it's kind of messed up for little kids. Like, I really have to go to the bathroom. Then he's always giving them like what am I going to do? And then because he just wants the answer. Like, what is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to just go to the bathroom right there on the floor? What is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to just run and go to the, he's always got to know what he's doing. We're not offline. You went as Cruella? It's very strict. It's ridiculous. I was gone for a minute, but I'm back. I'm back. I need to go get kids organized for school. Okay, Maui. Do they get a chance? No, but I don't think so. It's really strict. The teacher was telling us that it's kind of strict, very strict. Not good for a kid with anxiety, no. But Luke just wants to, always the what ifs are in there. Like, well, how can you say that? Well, what if somebody had, how can you just say that you can't do this? What if? Your husband and son hung pictures for you all day. It was a nightmare. What was the nightmare? Getting it in the right spot? Or they were grouchy? What was the nightmare? Well, 13's not that old, is it? Let him go. Let him go trick-or-treating. Oh, gosh, you scared me. Sassy. She knocked over one of my sneakers. You see how panicky I get? That's how I am. That's why people cannot scare me. I will hit them. Hi, Joanne. They go with your 2 little ones and dress up and love it? You don't go, Danielle? Jimmy and I both go still. Always. I think I'll wear my masquerade mask this year. And I think Jimmy's going to wear one of these light up, he's got these light up LED masks that he has. Oh no, we can't let him go alone because see, we have to go to a totally, you don't know what it's like when you live in the mountains and there's only like certain areas that actually have homes that are all, close enough to walk around like real neighborhoods. So, like nobody comes, we don't get any trick-or-treaters, none at all. And we go to some houses on the lake that are here just because they do it just for us. My other neighbor moved out, so that's one less. And then we have just a couple, but that's it. And then like you go to the post office and everybody knows you're at the post office. And then we go to like there's a couple of small towns just like right here in our district, but I mean neighborhoods, not towns, I'm sorry. Just where you can walk around, and that's where everybody goes because most everybody lives in area, like it's crazy in the mountains. You go with a basic cat head. I have one of those too. I could do that too, but maybe I could wear the Jason mask. You don't have to worry about anything. You have to drive here, and at least we can drive there, and then it's right by the firehouse, and the firehouse does something because everybody knows, like the kids. And there's people here, oh my gosh, the haunted house that they set up with their house. I have pictures of it. It is incredible. They set it up every year. It probably takes 3 years. I think they start like in August. You can't even believe what they do. The woman is an art teacher at the school. And I mean, it's just incredible. It looks like something out of a movie set. They have Freddy Krueger. They have pianos out there. They have all kinds of things, and they have the perfect house for it. And then these other people have, oh my gosh, they have this Victorian, and they do it too, right across. It's like 3 houses, right, but the one on the corner just goes insane. I'm not really one into Halloween. Like if they called me and said Halloween was canceled, I'd be like, oh, okay. But I never really have been. It's nothing about like religious or anything like that. It's just that. And especially since living up here, because it's always been like that. It's not, it's crazy. And why is this Harris? Do you guys think the kids should be able to go trick-or-treating? No, I don't send my kids alone. No, I don't. We all walk with our kids. And even if like in the neighborhood, if we go and our kids say like, we haven't yet, but I've seen older kids that say, well, we're going to go around but the parents are right there. They just let the older kids go up a little bit ahead of them, but we're all right there. I'm just looking at the chat for a second. No one has ever come to your door? Okay. Who is that said that? Deborah? I never used to be into it, but the last few years I'm liking it for the fun of dressing up and decorating. I have you to get all excited. You really like it, huh? Yeah, you do, definitely. 4 sleeps. Is that what the 4 sleeps was for? What would happen if I got 8 hours of sleep? I actually slept in a little bit today. I was having a great dream, and Jimmy woke me up. I was on a plane, but it wasn't a regular plane. And we were driving on the roadway, and my sister-in-law and my brother was next to me, and I think my sister was next to me. And it wasn't like it was like a weird plane. It was like huge. And it just had seats on either side, just like 8 seats, but it was big. And I said, what are we doing? And my sister-in-law was putting on her seatbelt, and she wasn't. And I said, where are we going? And she said, well, the runway is down to where she mentioned some towns in New Jersey. I don't know whether it was Teterboro or, oh my gosh, Bayonne. I don't know where the heck she said. She said, they don't have a runway here, so we have to drive on the highway. I said, we're driving the plane down the highway? And she's like, yeah, well, it's not too far. And then they get on a runway and we take off. I don't remember where we were going, but just as we were going down the highway and I was kind of getting into it a little bit, I heard Jimmy say, what time you getting up? And that was it. That was it. That was the end of my sleeping in a little bit, and that was the end of my plane trip. I don't know what happened in my dream. That was it. That was I was done. It was finished. I don't know where we were going. I don't know what was happening. Jimmy messed it up for me. He messed up my fake trip. He messed up my fake trip. You probably heard me getting all excited or something, right? I don't know, in my dream, like, we're going on a trip, we're going on a trip. I don't know. You hope it continues. You dreamed you had a flying donkey that was throwing pineapples? Wow. You can write books about your dreams. You remember every detail. Yeah, if I think about them, right, I dream very vividly. I dream in color. I dream very vividly when I remember them, but sometimes I don't. And sometimes when they're terrorizing, I've had dreams that have been terrorizing that I've really believed were real. Have you ever had a dream you thought was so real, you're so like you're shaken up from it, even when you wake up and you still like you're really shaken up? Yeah, that has happened to me. Do people do trunk or treats? Yeah, that's the one thing they do too. I forgot about that. They also do a trunk or treat in one of the towns that we go to first, where they really do a nice job of they put it up, it's like in a community kind of a park, and they really do it up nice. Yeah, Karen, yeah. You are exhausted all day after some bad dreams? Yeah. Well, I don't know if all day, but dream that my husband was cheating. I was ticked off on him. And he's like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. You're mad at me because you had a dream? You have recurring dreams? Hi, Sarah A. You have night terrors every night? Horrible? Really, Stephanie? Wow, that doesn't sound pleasant. Not at all. You must not, no wonder you don't like to go to sleep. I don't think anybody would if you had night terrors every time you went to sleep. I was doing nothing through depression. I will now dress up my dog as Cruella and take my dog in my neighborhood. That's nice, Julie. You are afraid. Well, yeah, understandably so, Stephanie, if you're having night terrors. Just looking at Sassy, she's restless. 42 and you sleepwalk? My little one has night terrors and no ideas. My kids talk in their sleep like crazy. You feel in full color cinematic. I had a recurring dream where I woke up sobbing because I wasn't married. It was before my ex left. Remember shopping? Oh yeah, Sonia's shopping. Yeah. When I was a kid, I always had dreams about not being able to find my mom. I always had dreams for the longest time. Like when I was, I think like right before I learned how to drive, and even after I knew how to drive, I think it was, but that I was always wake up and I'd find myself in the back seat of a car. And a lot of times it was like the car had like 10 rows of seats and I was always in the last one. And then I look and the car is speeding down the highway and there's nobody else in the car. And I have to make it to the driver's seat. And it was always, I couldn't stand those dreams. And then eventually they stopped. Yeah, I hated those dreams. Oh my gosh. I could never quite get, I was like getting there, I'm climbing over the seats. I'm thinking like, what? Drive? Yeah, but you're not driving. You're totally out of control. And I think it's a lot to do with also driving either being something that I hadn't accomplished yet. You know, maybe I was 14, something like that. They might have started. And then being very new at it. And then, oh my gosh, what if I'm in the back and the car's driving down the highway and I can't get there? And it was always like, I can't get there, but the car is still driving okay, but I have to get there. Or that you're falling, right? Just crazy stuff. That your ex-boyfriend in them, your relationship is bad, but your dreams with him are wonderful. You wake up and you wish the dreams were real. Today was the anniversary of your husband's death. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And his mother chose Halloween. Oh, you haven't liked that day. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Stephanie. Yeah, Megan, we used to have a dream book when I was a kid. My sister had it. We used to look up our dreams in it. And there was this one dream in the whole book. And it said, death for the dreamer was the meaning. And you never wanted to have that dream. Well, you know how it is when you think about something that you're not, like, don't ever have a dream about that. Don't ever have a dream about that. And I remember, like, once one of us was, like, close to having a dream about whatever it was. But it wasn't really. It didn't... And we were like freaking out. And that was like the worst thing ever. I don't know, Kayla. Why do they put... It was horrible. It actually said that. Death for the dreamer. That's horrible. I don't even want to think about it. I think it was like something like killing someone or something. It was a purple book. It was really thick. It was soft cover, but it was large. It was really thick. And we used to look up our dreams, but my gosh, once I noticed that, I was like freaked out every time I had a dream. It was scary. Don't have that dream. Okay. Oh, I don't. This was when we were kids. We were kids. But yeah, that was... I was once able to do that, Lisa. I had a dream. It was something to do with the Brady Bunch, and I was able to go back like 3 times and continue the dream. But I was like in 6th grade. That is covered, and it gets smaller and smaller as you go down. Did you guys see the haunted house in Tennessee? If you make it through, they give you $20,000. What do they do to you? What do you mean make it through? You have to walk through? What are they doing to you in there? Has anybody gotten the 20,000? They torture you? How? How do they torture you? I don't like haunted houses because you see how I react when my dog knocks over my sneaker and it makes a strange sound. I don't like being scared. You have to sign a 40-page waiver? Has anybody made it through? I'm sure they assault you and they traumatize you. Nobody ever made it. What do they do? They lock you up and stuff, and then you just have... You have to run away or escape? Or what's going on? Jimmy would probably go through that. He probably would. He's not scared. He's been through a lot of stuff. I have to look that up because he'd probably go down and do that. Do you ever say like really weird things? Like you ever cleaning your dishes and then there's some like nasty water left in the sink right before you clean it? And you know what we do here? my family is weird. Either my kids or you know, or maybe sometimes I'll say it to like Jimmy, for $1 million, would you drink that? And he'll always go, yeah, he would. He's like, for $1 million? Yeah, I drink it. I'm like, oh. He's like, and then the kids are sure to say, would you do it for 500,000? You know, and see how low they can get him down to. We do weird, goofy stuff like that. We were laughing, thinking up all the different torture scenarios. Just liquid dinner. You don't like heights. You would dream you fell through a gap. Oh, wow. Many times, yeah. You love how much I reference the Brady Bunch? Oh my gosh, my girlfriend and I, my longest, we've been friends since we were 4 years old. Her and I, oh my gosh, the Brady Bunch we still talk about it to this day. She loved it probably even more than me. They were giving away drugs. Weren't they giving away drugs? I really don't like not being in control. A lot of people don't. Tell Jimmy to go out and put a video cam on him. That would be awesome to watch. I'll have to look it up. Too bad it's in Texas. Remember I told you that about that story where he went when he was teaching at the school and they went on that haunted hayride. He wanted to do another one of those. I don't know why after he had this experience. And then he freaked out because they pulled the wagon, because it was a real farm, into a barn, and they shut the door, and this guy starting up a chainsaw, and he was coming over to the wagon, and Jimmy thought, like, what the heck? What if this is just some deranged guy and he's really going to kill us? And Jimmy was like in fight mode, and he was going to like do something to the guy. I forget what the rest of the story. I'm going to have him tell that. Maybe on Halloween I'll have him tell that story again. Would you like to hear him tell that story again? Because I'd like to hear him tell that story again, because sometimes I forget how his stories go. But I know it was really, like, he was like in protect mode of all the students and stuff. Yeah, he'll have to tell it again. The haunted hayride. But yet he said, oh, we should go on one. We should take the kids on something like that. I know there is one in it, and like almost where my daughter and I went to the sheep festival, not that far. Okay, I'll have to remind me. Who? He's a sadist? Oh, you mean he really tortures you? It's not just like just get through and get scared? Oh, that's different. I think I remember something like that. I don't know. Yeah, he really thought the guy was going to like kill him. Is it snack time? I don't know. I'm not having any snacks. I still have my stuff here to drink. McCarney Manor? Okay. You don't think anyone has made it? Oh, then it's probably not a fair thing. As a kid, we mix a cocktail of different things from the refrigerator. Yeah, right? Yeah, we've done that too. Oh my gosh, we used to do that in the summer. We used to make a hot chocolate, and then we would put like Worcestershire sauce in it or something, and then try to like and different things and try to drink it, or try to make up like a not even. And then there was always things you tried to make up something new that tasted good, like you put like peach in the blender with like orange juice and some other kind of crazy thing to try to invent something new that tastes good. What kind of tea do I like to drink? I'm actually not drinking tea right now, but all kinds of tea. I like vanilla, chai teas. I like, Earl Grey. I'll have Earl Grey. I have so many teas, herbal teas. It all depends what I'm used to. There's a spicy orange tea that I like. I have a lot of tea. Pickles soaked in grape Kool-Aid. Yum. That reminds me, where are my pickles? I bought good pickles. I never had them yet. Remember I wanted to have them at the Sheep and Wool Festival? I never got a pickle there, and then I said I just bought pickles, and I hope they're... I don't like sweet tea. Jimmy loves sweet tea. I hate sweet tea. Especially from fast food places. He loves it. Ugh, I can't take it. I can't. Your dog is snoring loudly. It's not just sassy. Well, now she's pretty quiet. She's in her bed, but now she's looked at me like, please stop talking about me. I think you have to I don't know. My favorite late night snack as a kid was frozen grapes. Yeah, they're good. I never end up putting them in there though. You'd be fine with dog food. You're actually munching on kibbles and bits. My brother was Joe Funga juice. It was neon green. I don't want to know what's in there. I like unsweetened tea. I do. I drink unsweetened tea too. Lemon I like in it. My cold tea drink is Gold Peak. If you get through, they give you 25,000. I think they said 20,000. Yeah, you just saw it on the local news. Picturing the bathtub scene in Breaking Bad. Oh, God. Oh, really, Sarah? I love kombucha. Ever put an orange slice? No, I don't think I have. I'll try. I don't think I have. I love lemon and water. You get heartburn from it, Evie? It is probiotic, Sarah, yeah. It's full of probiotics. Hi, Mary Beth. I bought green tea. It's my first time, so let's see how I go. Even if I drink it cold. Oh, you mean tea bags like that or loose tea? Pure leaf tea is my favorite iced tea. That's a good one, yeah. So many people here tonight? Not that many, about 500. Earlier in the night, wherever, I don't know, what the other night we had like over 1,100. And then a few days before that we went, when did we have over 2,000 in here? That was crazy. That was a milestone, 2K. Over 2K, yeah. Anybody know what to know? What happened, Janelle? What do you want to know? You love fruit tea from tea to hot or cold? It's amazing. Oh, fruit tea from tea to hot. I have to look. You're making borscht tomorrow in the Instant Pot? My daughter makes that, Kristen. My daughter makes that. I saw it in the grocery store because I guess it was you know, left over from the holy days. And I said, you know, I'm just going to get it for because my daughter was coming in. I was going to be like, oh, you want some more? Okay. Oh, but it was even when we weren't talking about CW. That's what was so weird. The over 1100, they were coming at weird times. I forget what we were even discussing, but it wasn't even that. That's what was funny. I think at that time it was something like completely crazy, and I had gone and I was talking about something, and I'm like, is anybody here? And I had gone out when it started talking. It was like 500, and then I came back and it was like 1600 or something, and then it went to 2000, and I couldn't understand what was going on. But the Hupp case got me chatting for the first time since I'm not familiar. So since you're so familiar with it, you want to call in and talk about it, Jennifer? Oh, the 911 call. Yeah, that 911. That one went up. That's right. Yeah, it wasn't Watts. There are things that get views other than Watts. It just kept creeping up higher and higher. Yeah. I have a colleague from England. She makes Cambodia. Oh, Cambodia herself. We drink it with ice pieces and fresh ginger. Kombucha, do you mean? I think it auto-corrected to Cambodia. Because I think you mean kombucha, right? The little light-up trees are $1. Everything's from Dollar Tree. The only thing I got from Walmart were those little plastic pouches. Good night, Kayla. I really enjoy the company of all you ramblers. We enjoy you. See you on the next one. Welcome to the 500th chatter that just entered. Welcome. Welcome. Janelle, is that what you mean? Those little trees? They were $1. In the Dollar Tree, Janelle, everything's $1. Yeah. Dollar Tree, the chain. Do you have Dollar Trees by you, Janelle? That chain? There are no Dollar Trees where I grew up in New Jersey. My sister and I were there. I told you. She's like, there are no Dollar Trees. I'm like, there's no Dollar Trees. It's like, no, sorry. There was a Tuesday morning, but we didn't get to go to it. Because she had been in such a freaking rush, right? Life gets real too fast. Right, yeah. What do you care if somebody's trick-or-treating? Who do you care if a 40-year-old's trick-or-treating with their kids? Who cares? Who cares? So what? Who cares? No Dollar Tree or Dollar General in Australia. I don't like the Dollar General. And they happen to build those, like... There's a Dollar General in the next... Who wants it? They're building another Dollar... Who wants it? Build a Dollar Tree. They will come. Oh, Walmart? Yeah, the only thing from Walmart was the pouches. Everything else is from Dollar Tree. Everything. They had a lot of those little trees. The 99-cent store? Yeah, I don't have any. We used to have a 99-cent Power, and then it went to Dollar Power. Not anymore. I mean, it's not near me. But it's not. My daughter has. There's some in the city by her. No Dollar Trees by her in the city either. Dollar Tree. Well, I guess because they sell groceries and stuff, so I guess if that's one of the only stores you had to go to, though some Dollar Trees do sell groceries and things, but not, I don't know, I don't think they sell as You know, because they're not just $1, they sell some more stuff, you know. But I just don't like I just don't like the atmosphere of them. They're very, I don't know what the word is for them. I don't look to go to one, and when I have to go to one, I'm just like, I don't like it. Not at all. I think it's 99 cents and more a few months ago. Clinical strength. Yeah? You bought all of them? How many? 100? You're set on deodorant? I wish we had a Dollar Tree. We have pound stores, yeah, but they don't have the same selection. Perhaps we're not as arts and craftsy inclined as our U.S. friends. Yeah, well, they just started putting big aisles of crafts in the Dollar Trees. All we have close to me is Dollar General or Family Dollar. Oh, Family Dollar is ridiculous. Though they're closing all of them down by us. Oh, you like to you do the penny sales and stuff? I just can't get into it. I can't. It's very, I don't know if they're all dark and depressing. They're very dark. They're very dark, depressing stores. I don't know why. They're just very dark and depressing to me. There's a lot of brown, like heavy on the brown in there. And they're just like very dark and depressing. Oh, Family Dollar is the worst. I was once paid because we used to do these shopportunities, right? So where you're paid to go to a store. A lot of times it's Walmart. You have to take a picture of the display, then you have to write a blog post, and you have to do all these things, jump through 97 hoops. Well, only one time did they have something in a Family Dollar, and it was the worst experience of my life. The people in the store didn't even know what the corporate headquarters was allowing. The one lady's like, you have to erase all those photos from your phone. I'm like, what are you talking about? And it was for Snickers. It was for freaking Snickers. And I said, do you even understand? Why don't you call your corporate office? And then she's like, take all the photos off your phone. I'm like, yeah, okay, right. And then I called my contact with the corporate office, and she's like, just get out of there. Just get out of there. Get the freaking Snickers bar. Just buy the Snickers bar. Tell them, yeah, and leave. And I did, and then they got in trouble or something from corporate because I didn't even know what was going on. I don't know what the heck that was, but I did my article. I got paid, everything, so it was all good. But they were weird. The only people that ever weird like that. She acted like, you know, I had trade secrets on my phone, you know, erase the picture. Oh, come on, lady. Of cat treats on Amazon for $2 usually. Yeah, Cindy? Carolyn, I finally went to Ollie's by me. It was super messy. It's a brand new one. It was super messy. Is that all you have to say about it, to Scooter? It was just super messy? I can't believe it. Really, Two Scooter, just super messy? Where are you located, Sam? Pretty much you didn't find any good deals in there? Did they have you hate Ollie's, Sarah? Why? For what reason? Do you like books? Why do you hate Ollie's? It's a big discount store. You know the Rachel Ray garbage bowl I got at Ollie's? It was like $3.99. They're still selling that garbage bowl for like $18 at every other store. Tell me about it, Two Scooter. Why didn't you like Ollie's? I'd like to know. You probably needed to go with me. I would show you the ropes. It's a learning curve. You probably were just out of your element. You didn't understand the layout. They opened one in the worst part. Oh, well, the worst part of town is not any great thing to go near. Yes, when the Ollies bought up the Toys R Us. You have the Ollies down there too, April, and they bought out the Toys R Us, yeah? I bought that bowl in green and blue for $5.99 each. See, 2 garbage bowls, right? Because you Lisa's cooking it up. You bought it in green and blue. I bought it in green. I don't think they had blue. I think they had green and red or something. I don't know. But I limit myself. I think it was $4.99. Didn't I get it for $4.99? I think so. I think so. Even at $5.99, it's a bargain. Guess what? I saw a lot of people in my area scooping up those clearance cricket machines, and then I see them on Marketplace and all over, brand new in the box, regularly $227, and they're selling them for like $185. You miss all the great discounts in the USA. Australia is outrageously expensive. Yeah, right. Can you call? Sure. Sure. Let me get the shoot me an email. I'll get you the number. Where's Random Guy? He probably thinks I'm mad at him or something. I don't know. You can come back, Random Guy. It's all good. I'm not mad at him. He doesn't think that. Maybe he thinks some of you are. I don't know. He says he had no idea what was going on. Like, nothing ever like that ever happened. But what are you going to do? It's a live show. It's a live show, people. All right. I signed up for that Michael's thing. I don't know. It must have been when I went with my sister. And now I have like emails every 5 seconds about something going on at Michael's. Now it's 75% off all Halloween. Okay, and now let me get back to the chat. Our Ollie's has Under Armour. Did they have the Under Armour ones there? I saw the ad. I didn't go there, even though I went, because it was just like, Jimmy, of course, rushing me. Did we go to Scranton that time? Hi. I think, where did I go in Scranton that time? We were going around somewhere. I don't remember where we went. But it was later than we thought. I don't know, where the heck, why did we go there? I can't even remember why we went there. That's scary. I think we went to Burlington and we went, I'm trying to remember. Hi. Hello. Hello. Hey, Diana, just for fun's sake, how much is a Westie, a good quality Westie in Scotland? If someone was, let's just say you were buying a puppy or something, how much is one over there? If you don't know, I'll wait till you can find out. Don't go making any calls right now. How come my chat is like stopping and oh here. Ah, in Scotland, lovely. Carolyn, I would say 1800. No, that's not your accent. I know that's Ireland. 1800. Wow, really? U.S. dollars. Hey, hi.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I tried to do it without video, and it wants passwords and whatnot, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that on this fancy phone.
Oh, okay. So
sorry.
That's all right. What's going on?
Oh, well, one of the things y'all were talking about, that woman that looks like she's a serial killer, is what y'all were saying?
Oh, the one Pam?
Yeah, I remember that Dateline episode.
Right, yeah.
That picture that's up there, the guy is a little bit younger than what he is now, it looks like. But I can remember everybody hating on him.
On
And
on the husband?
yes, they really, really believed he was guilty. And he, they always say, "Oh, he didn't do it." But I did feel like he looked like he might possibly be innocent just because of what the facts of the case were. But wow. So this woman did what? I mean, how was she connected to them? I missed the first part. I
Oh,
get a bit like
the one you mean Pam?
Pam.
Oh, well, Pam she was the lover of Betsy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were lovers, and then Betsy was dying of liver and breast cancer.
Right. I remember that.
Right, and so she said that Betsy signed her on as the beneficiary of a $150,000 life insurance policy like days before the murder, and the librarian or somebody at the library witnessed it. Nobody else knew.
Oh, nobody else knew. What about the cops? Did the cops not check out who's the beneficiary?
They found out, but then it was like, well, because her relationship wasn't the best with her husband, so maybe like they were saying, well, of course, she doesn't trust the husband and she doesn't trust the mother because the mother and sister, whatever, they're going to take her money, her daughters, so that her best friend would have been that. And then they didn't find out that it was her lover until they called the husband with this evidence and that they had, and then he got exonerated, and then she tried to make it look like he hired a hit on her with this. I think the guy was developmentally disabled too, that she hired, the one she killed. And then he came to the house, she shot him, said he shot an intruder, had a note that made it look like the husband had arranged this. But then they saw there was 911 call was problematic because there were silences. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's and
I think she might be a serial killer. She might be connected not only with this Betsy, her lover's murder, but they're going to open that again. But then even her own mother, who fell from a balcony, and she might be connected to that. And then they were saying like there were some other guys like she was summoning before, and so she might be a serial killer.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, but she got life.
Because she took she took the Alford plea. Yeah.
Alford plea, right?
Yeah, like Peterson. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Well.
So yeah.
She'll get shanked.
She wants to be in control, so she was so she was laughing like, like I
she'll
like
have
this.
A great time in prison.
Yeah, maybe she'll manipulate everybody in there. I don't know, right? I don't know.
I'm sure. Wow.
I don't know.
She did have a little bit of a resemblance. That picture there was a little bit of a resemblance to Cindy, if Cindy was blonde.
Is that where I don't know who I could hear the woman's voice that I knew, and it was almost like I was thinking somebody from the school or something. She had a very common type of a face, like everybody has a friend that looks like that somewhere, or some type of relative, or somebody's wife. She had a common looking kind of a face. But I don't know if it was that or what, but I felt like I heard her face. I could hear the voice, but it'll probably come to me at it's at past 3 in the morning. So like 6 in the morning, I'll remember it. Yeah.
Have y'all ever gone to 666?
No. What's that?
The time frame?
Oh, 666. No, I'm 333.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just curious. Have we ever gone that long?
Ever gone? Yes, we did. We went past 7. We went past 7 that time we were driving around and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
And we did another all-nighter. Almost with Lisa, with the Cupid dolls and the decoupage, and it just never ended. Yeah. We were late on that.
I kept popping in, and my husband's like, "What are you so obsessed with?"
Yeah, we did.
And I'm like, "You don't understand. You need to watch her for a while and then judge."
Yeah, Lisa came on. Like it was going to be a quick call, and then we were on for like another 2 hours.
Lisa
She
H.
was up, and like I pictured any minute her husband was going to come flying down the stairs and be like, Lisa, you said you were coming to bed 4 hours ago, right? What are you doing? You're down there. Every light in the house is on. She had, I
Yeah.
mean, every light on. She was pulling stuff out of cabinets. She's a fun girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why my husband and I don't sleep in the same bed anymore. It's been bliss ever since.
Oh my gosh. Maybe those TV couples in the twin beds and stuff.
Well, I just need a whole different room because
Whole different room. But there are people that do that, you know, because they say like,
Yeah.
oh, someone watches the TV all night, and this one, they're like, doesn't I think our president, they don't sleep in the same room, but you know, I don't know. I've
Well,
heard
'cause
that
he
they don't sleep
doesn't
in the same
sleep.
room.
Trump doesn't sleep evidently, so I can't.
Yeah, you know,
if I
somebody
call
said
on
that.
him,
I didn't even know that he doesn't ever sleep
he has like 3 or 4 hours a day.
because he's
or
tweeting at like
night,
3, 4 in
never
the morning
does
and
it.
stuff, right? Yeah.
And my husband's a night owl, and I have to be up and at work, out the door at like 5:30.
Wow.
So, yeah, I go to bed early, and then, you know, I'm usually awake by the time you guys are halfway through.
Oh, see, you're like my girlfriend. She does that. She goes to bed super early, and she used to get up at like at 4:30, and then she started getting up at 3:30, and then she started getting up at 2:30, and I was like, oh my gosh, she was just getting up, you know, like for the day. When I'm just like, wow, okay, you're up for the day. 2:30. She got up earlier and earlier. Now it's like she goes to bed at 7 and she gets up at 2:30 for the day.
I work the early morning, I shouldn't say early morning because that could mean 2 a.m., but I work the early shift for people with special needs. I work with a client who's 28 years old, but she's mentally closer to like a 9 or 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And she's pretty high functioning, but she's still just kind of naive about some things. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So you gotta be helpful with her without trying to, because she's 28. You know, she thinks she's grown.
Mm-hmm.
Not.
Right.
But
Yeah. Julie's asking what video the Cupid dolls were on. Lisa, I don't know. It'll be a long one because she had us on a long time. So look for a lot of hours. And then, does anybody remember what we did before, Lisa? Anybody in the chat?
I wonder if you could search it. Can you not just put in there Mommy Ramblings?
I have to find a better way, yeah, to do some kind of indexing. I really should, because we cover so many things. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. My son got mad at me. I'm a little bit in trouble.
Why?
Because he has not gotten his license yet. And he's like, Mom.
Oh my gosh, wait a minute. You're the one I'm supposed to send the restaurant to, right?
Yeah.
See, it wasn't Lisa. We couldn't oh my gosh, now I remember. Okay, I have him because I sent him to Janelle. And Janelle was
like,
going
Mom,
to...
You can't be telling people this yet. I don't have my license yet. This is an ethics possible problem, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, calm down.
Calm down. The Ramblers aren't going to hurt you.
All I said was you passed the bar.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm sure you're not the only mother to do that ahead of time.
But he said I told him that I had plugged him, and that led to this, you know, I'm in trouble. Oh, calm down.
That's like my daughter. It sounds like my daughter is alarmist, you know. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, when you were having that drive with your daughter, and she's like, Mom, blah, blah, blah. And
I know.
Like, they should have their siren on. That sounds exactly
then she's like,
me.
I hope they don't think I'm rude, but I just can't discuss, like, she gets like so, like, you know, I just can't discuss that again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, just concentrate on the Macy's, just get the Macy's windows.
Give yourself 30 years. You'll be exactly like this, I promise.
Oh my gosh. And like, she acts like she didn't know how to use, like, I'm just turn the phone around, pull it out of the, I don't know how to use the holder. I don't have, because like she uses public transportation. She actually, I'm like, push the button in the back, turn it around, open your window. She's getting the thing and the sun she didn't know how to zoom it in. Oh my goodness. I was going.
But she's firstborn, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so she, you know, wants to be very perfect. And
Yeah.
Probably has to have everything just so, which is typical and normal and all that.
Oh my gosh.
But my son, 1 year, so please don't quote me. He's not licensed.
Okay.
Please.
Please.
I asked him to watch some of that. I said, if you think there's a problem, go look at it, blah, blah, blah. And then he comes back to me and he says, Mom, there is a presumption of innocence. And I just hope I never have you on my jury. And I said, presumption of innocence? What? Because I'm kind of smart alecky too, like you and everybody else pretty much in there. And I said, I've never heard of that. I've had the last name James too long for that garbage. Because in this James family, like you're guilty. There's no, maybe benefit of the doubt. Nope. You did it.
That's crazy. Oh, so yeah, no, I'm the same. I have my daughter, and I think it's just because she's my daughter, and like it's and we're pretty close. We're not very far apart, so like she's actually closer to me than I am to two of my brothers. Okay, there's a bigger difference. So like I don't know. So I think just like with girls, it's gotten better, but like there's the time that it's people say, oh, well, wait till she gets married and has her own kids, then it'll even get better. But it's like certain things are like either your mother doesn't know anything because I grew up so sheltered. She loves to tell me how sheltered I grew up, and I have no I have no she loves to do stuff like that. But
yeah, I grew up very sheltered too, and it wasn't a good thing when all of a sudden your mom's dead, your dad ditches you when you're 16 years old, and it's like, what do I do?
She's always like, Mom, you got married, young, and you didn't do this and you didn't do that. You don't know what this is. I'm like, okay, yeah, and I just listen. I'm just like, okay, yeah, all right, sure.
Oh, so she thinks you were sheltered, but you really weren't.
She thinks like because our lives are different, because she lives in Manhattan and she lives in New York City, and she's like doing all that stuff, and where I was like Susie homemaker, she thinks homemakers. Even though I've graduated from college, I've gone on to post college, I just like it doesn't matter. It's just not the way that she did it, and so it's like but. I could do the same thing. Like, oh, you don't know what the YouTube community is like. Okay, it's not what you think. It's like, but it's a kind of thing. Like, but then she like, I don't know. She just loves to do that. It's just, I think it's a mother-daughter thing. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Right? Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, but raising kids and doing all this day in, day out, it gives you an education.
Right, but I always tell her that like if I did things exactly the way you did, then you wouldn't even be here.
Exactly.
You wouldn't even be here. If I wasn't a very young mother, you wouldn't even be here. Okay, so then
and I keep doing like that. I know it probably looks funny, but I keep doing like this because my dog.
Oh, hi. Hey there.
She wants me to throw the ball about 5,000 times a day.
Oh, is she jumping for the ball?
She just loves the ball, tennis ball.
Oh, I'm street smart too. Yeah, Sharon. But then see her like you have no idea, Sharon. She will say, like, let's say she asks me about something and I tell her, she'll be like, oh no, you're off base, right? Especially about you're off base. Then I swear to you, 3 months when my son and I went down and she had her friend in the car, she goes, oh mom, guess what? Ayla saw your message to me, and she said about something that had happened like 3 months ago. She said, you were spot on. Your mother is like that. And I said, thank you, Ayla. Thank you. And, but my daughter will always do that. 3 months after the fact, she'll tell me I was spot on about somebody. But when I first say it, she'll say no. But I have to say, my sister and I did the same thing with our mother too. We would like, she would say something like, some of the stuff was a little bit, we thought was crazy. Like she said, we had neighbors up here at the lake, and she said, I think he has to lock his wife in the house now because she had Parkinson's. And I said, Mom, she didn't have to lock her in the house, but it was true. And we didn't believe her. We did not believe her for, like, but there was, like, we said no, and then it was true. So my sister and I was always laugh. We could say, our mother would come up with what seemed like really outlandish things, right? And we'd say no. Or like she could tell like two people were having trouble in their marriage, like way before it even happened. She'd say like, I think they're going to get divorced. No, they're happy. They're not happy. You know, like I saw them walking around the lake and it was this and that. She could read body language, like even from the car. Okay.
Very
So
intuitive, it sounds like.
and we'd be like, no, I swear to you, a year later, who's getting divorced? Oh, they're divorced. Yeah, he was cheating on her big time, right? So then we're like, what? Mom's right. And we would always at first say, Mom's version, total fabrication. We would do that. We were smart Alex, right? And then a year later, my mother's 100% right on. And we were like, how does she do that? How does she do that? You know, it's like, so yeah. So I think it's a thing.
That's interesting.
But she does tell me. I mean, at least she does that, right? Like, hey, you responded.
Yeah, that's something. They were talking about. So, what are you going to dress up for Halloween? Have you decided?
I'm either going to put on my masquerade mask, or I have the cat I have the cat ears, like Danielle was saying, put some whiskers on, or I could just go out with that glow in the dark Jason mask.
Because I have my client for Halloween, and she's very much wanting to dye her hair green and do all this stuff. And she said, well, what are you going to be? I said, I'm going to be what I am every year. She said, what's that? I said, I wear blue and black, and I'm a bruise.
A bruise.
Did not get it.
She could get, if she wants to do her hair green, they have that like temporary hair. I don't know if it's chalk or something. At the Dollar Tree, they have it now. Green, blue, yeah.
I took her to see the Joker, and I took her to see It Too, which.
Oh, you did see It Too?
I hated It Too. The first one was good.
Yeah, that was weird though. Yeah.
But it was
so nice when the kid was in the storm drain, and then then you're just like, oh, what happened, right? Because look at the night, not good. Not good.
James McAvoy made the movie worth watching. So
yeah,
well, he's hot.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm usually a bruise, or if I wear my overalls, I'm a farmer. And I would dress my youngest as a cow.
Oh gosh, cow, yeah. One time my sister loves Halloween. I don't like it. She once made her son, and this was like before Pinterest and stuff, because these were our oldest kids, a Tetley tea bag, and she took like a copier and made a big enlargement of the Tetley tea label, and she took a clear plastic bag, and then she put dried leaves in it, like the fall leaves in it. Yeah, and I think once he was a thing of grapes too, with all purple balloons on him. Like she loved Halloween, but October is her birthday month.
Did you dress as a princess and stuff like that when you were little?
When I was a kid, I was Raggedy Ann. Once Raggedy Ann. What else? What can I remember?
Because I just can't see you as ever being that little girl that wanted to be a princess. And
no, like I used to always go home and dress in these. At the time, there used to be these really long dresses, and they were like fancy. Like I don't know. I'd come home on a Friday, and I constantly get into this one that I was a gypsy in second grade, and I had this multicolored dress, and then I was a cat one year with my sister. I don't know if I was princess, so nothing really scary or anything like that. But I think I might have been Casper one year when I was really little. I don't know why I'm thinking Casper.
And there weren't store costumes back then, really. I mean,
yeah.
You had to figure it out for yourself. I was the Tin Man. My brother was always a ghost because he was a little heavy. And that was like the only thing he ever,
Did he ever, he didn't have all the eyes in it like Charlie Brown's ghost? Remember Charlie Brown's ghost had all the eyes in it?
Only 2 eye holes, but that was what's Matt going to be this year?
A ghost.
Yeah. But yeah, we were not like...
we had costumes, but it was so funny because I'll never forget my Raggedy Ann costume came with like a mask, and my mother had like a lot of wig, and there was like this curly wig, and I never forget. She said, "Here, wear the curly mask. Don't wear the curly wig and go as like real Raggedy Ann," because I had like with the dress and everything. She's like, "Don't put the mask on." And eventually I ended up doing that because like I got tired of the mask. It was like driving me crazy. It was those plastic ones with the elastic in the back.
With the one little band that goes around.
So I wore the curly wig and I just went like a real Raggedy Ann with, Raggedy Ann. And, but a lot of kids in our town, like they would always do the hobo, a lot of the boys, right? There was like nothing. They had the stick with the thing in the back and it was so easy and like some dirt on their face and they would do the hobo thing and thing. Like it wasn't as crazy as it is,
And they just your parents would just say, "See ya."
Yeah, we walked around the neighborhood. But we usually had our older sisters, with us, like my girlfriend and I did, and then a bunch of us. And it was very safe. But we lived in even though. People used to tease us because where I grew up, they said the houses were too far apart because there was like a minimum an acre or 2 acres per house. The kids in the next town would tease us and say, I'm like, it's not far apart. You could still walk. It's definitely, you talk about here is just ridiculous. You have to go to like certain neighborhoods are the only ones you can go on. You were a typical housewife. I can imagine you with that. I can totally imagine you in a Sharon with curlers in her hair, cold cream on her face. A ratty, I can totally, when she was 13, I can totally see it, Sharon. I really can. Kind of description that sticks with you. I don't know if you're talking 2 scooters. Let's see, you were a mummy as a teen? Yeah?
Ooh, that was a good one.
I'm trying to think of like any major I don't know.
There was no time frame.
We came right home from school. We got changed right away, and it was just like. And then it's gets dark, and hardly even sees you. That you're like home, and then
we'd be trick or treating until midnight. But I lived in Florida.
Oh really? So. Oh no, we didn't. Oh
my gosh!
Yeah, no.
You just went until you passed out.
Oh yeah, so we did our like a certain part of the neighborhood. Then we came home because then I used to like to answer the door too. So I had a because we got a lot of kids. So I had to balance the time. So we'd get home around like dinner time, and then I had enough, and then I wanted to answer the door.
We loved it until when my dad became the pastor of the church, then we weren't allowed to do it anymore. So that kind of stunk, but whatever, it's life.
Yeah.
Anyway, my son was very eccentric as a child, and he would dress as like the Phantom of the Opera.
That's great.
Had 3, had like this silver mask that we were able to find at Family Dollar or Dollar General because that's all there was in Glendale. And he had this. We made him like a tinfoil cane, piece of wood and then a stick of wood, and then you would wrap tinfoil around it to look like a walking stick. And he had a cape. We made him a cape, and he had like a bow tie. And nobody ever got it. Everybody's like, "What are you?" I'm the Phantom of the Opera. Oh, what? It was just, he was one of those eccentrics. Your boys, Luke and Ethan, remind me a lot of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then one year, he had worn a suit with a briefcase, and nobody understood what he was supposed to be, and he was John Edwards.
My son went as David Letterman. I found a it was unbelievable. The 4th grade teacher laughed her butt off because it was. I have to find the picture of it. The mask was so great, and he wore a blue like Oxford with a tie, and of course, and they have pictures of him sitting. They couldn't control. When I came in the classroom, because I was helping out that day or something, because I did a lot.
Did he have a top 10 list with him and stuff?
I think they did have a top 10 list.
I bet.
The teacher, because I had the same 4th grade teacher for all 3 of my older kids. I loved her. She was just so hysterical. She said, I have to take this picture, and I have to find that picture because it was hysterical. Yeah, David Letterman. Yeah. It was
just like anything off the wall. That's what we would always be dressing.
Well, there's Random Guy. Your ears must have been burning, Random Guy. I was wondering where you were.
I want to hear his story.
Oh yeah, your story, Random Guy. You had a story.
Yeah. I was listening to him the other day after he had been on that evening, and sounded very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was Susan.
Have you ever heard his story about how he got married in 2 weeks? You didn't hear that one? Oh boy, yeah. To some lady he met on the internet. He got married to her because she came to his house and with a U-Haul trailer. Tell me if I'm wrong, Jeff. And just knocked on his door, and he was like, "What are you doing here?" Because he was just like talking to her on Facebook. And then she was like, "Well, I'm here. Hi." And he's like, "No, you're staying in the driveway." And supposedly she worked at Hooters, and he's telling me that he's keeping her in the driveway. And I'm like, "Come on, Jeff, let's get to the chat. I don't think she was staying in the driveway, Jeff." He's like, "She was." I'm like, "I don't think she was." Then he's like, "No, she was." And then I'm like, "How did you get married to her?" And he's like, "Well, she was actually in his house. I think like his neighbor let her in. I think, is this what happened, Jeff?" And then she wouldn't go. She wouldn't leave. And so he didn't know what to do because she wouldn't leave. And so he made her a deal, something that he was going to drive her back to Florida if she would leave, right? I would call in. So, was this what happens, Jeff? You made a deal with her, and I'll drive you back to Florida if you leave. But instead, he ends up getting married somewhere along the way to Florida.
What?
Right? Is that what happened, Jeff? Was it along the way to Florida or was it on the way back? What was it? Yeah, he got married to her. Some girl.
Do you have to have blood work and stuff done before you get married?
He got married. I was at they went out to dinner or something. I don't know what happened. She ended up, they got married.
Okay, well, I need to hear this story.
Oh, yeah, it's in it's in like his first live with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
We'll have to find out. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I would have called the cops.
Yeah, well then, he falls for this stuff. He has a little trouble like falling for the wrong women. But no, I shouldn't say that because he was married to, they were hall monitors together. So it sounds like a love story, right? They were hall monitors together, him and his first wife, right?
Okay.
And it sounded great, right? They were married, they were hall monitors. Like, look at that lifelong love from the time you're 6 years old. Right. Well, not even high school. They were like first grade sweethearts.
Oh,
and
wow.
he marries her, they have a son, and then who would know, he gets divorced and he marries someone in 2 weeks from the internet.
It just sounds creepy.
It does, right?
And there's a movie named Greta.
Got her all the way back to Florida, and then she ended up riding back with him, right? See, he got her all the way to Florida, and then like there was something crazy, like the people weren't home, and she was like crying, like, "I have nobody, just get me to Tennessee," or something like that, she was doing, and he fell for it, hook, line, and sinker again, and so he takes her there, and then what happened? And then they got hitched at a restaurant. I knew it was at a restaurant. I have a picture of this restaurant in my head from his story. It reminds me of one that's here in Pennsylvania, but in Tennessee, Clarksville, Tennessee, he got married to her.
Wow. And how long did that last?
I don't think they even consummated the marriage on the wedding night because he had a fight with her. Is that right, Jeff? Wasn't there a fight? They got married. They're at the restaurant. And then there was a fight. And I think she threw everything in a duffel bag and threw it out at him. And he was walking like around the town on his wedding night. Right,
Holy
Jeff?
moly.
Is that what happened? Jeff took the last train to Clarksville. I think that's what happened.
Awful.
I think that's what happened.
Oh, that's awful.
Apparently, I don't know, he attracts but yeah, it's a hot mess. It lasted until I could get rid of her for abandonment. But you had a fight. Didn't you guys have a fight on the wedding night? You were walking around, she's in the hotel room, the honeymoon suite.
Oh my gosh.
You didn't hear it, Diana? Oh my gosh, you'd love it.
Yeah, I want to hear more.
I'll have to find the one. We'll have to title it Jeff's 2-week marriage. We'll have to, when we find it, let me know. I'll change the headline to Jeff's 2-week marriage.
Shotgun groom.
Random guy Jeff's marriage story.
Oh my gosh, that's awful. Now, does she end up with like the house, or how
he says he's a crazy woman magnet, and he was kicked out. Yeah, and she took his phone and she threw me down the hotel steps. That's the wedding night. Yes, I got it. This is a keeper.
Break out the champagne.
She's just a little. You know what? She's fun. She's passionate.
Just a little temperamental.
Yeah, come on. She'll outgrow it probably.
She'll walk it off. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's just, it'll be one of the things we'll laugh at our 30th anniversary. Remember that time, we got married, you threw my phone, you threw me down the steps? Yeah, that was great.
It was awesome.
Loved it. I loved it. I knew you were a keeper then. I said, she's my feisty little one. I'll win her over. Yeah.
The clincher was when you were crying when we arrived and you had nowhere to go. I just knew you were the one, baby.
I don't know. It was so crazy. Oh,
that's
God.
Nuts.
I'm surprised she didn't end up pregnant or something, but I think she was older, so she probably tried. I'm sure. I don't know what the heck is happening.
But there's a movie called Greta, and it sounds like that.
Oh, yeah?
Have you heard about this movie?
No.
Oh, my God. It's on HBO, and it's well, I don't want to say too much, but it's an older lady. It's an... I mean, there's some wackos.
Oh, yeah.
And it's an older lady, and she leaves her purse on the subway, and this young girl whose mother has just passed away finds the purse, and she wants to do the right thing, brings the purse to her, and then they start having a relationship of some sort, not a sexual one, but like a mother-daughter kind of. I don't want to spoil it. But oh my God.
I have to watch it because it kind of sounds like the movie my daughter told me, Parasite. And I said, oh, was that about like an epidemic? She said, no, it was about this poor
I've been looking
college
for that.
student. She said, because they saw it in the theater with her guy. And she said that he went to like a rich kid's house to tutor them. And he ended up like getting entrenched with he was being, I think, a parasite in the family. But she said it was kind of like a dark kind of comedy. It wasn't like a true drama, but she said very, very good. And then she saw that other one, something about that rabbit. What is that? Oh my gosh, I knew that she just went to see that one. They see a lot of movies. I don't know. Something about the rabbit. Why do you think I need to be in the midst of the Ramblers? Yeah. He always tells me, he's like, Carol, I have terrible luck with women.
It's all the ladies.
He's a magnet for the crazies. Yeah. Crazies.
Yeah. Wow, that's awful, Jeff. I'm so sorry.
The first wife, I would think it was fine, but I don't know what happened after the first wife. I think.
Wow. Hey, do you ever get people? And I say people, but I mean men.
I say people, but I mean men.
On Facebook, these random guys will just...
Oh, yeah, I like you. Hello. Like that?
What the heck?
I never answer them, but I think, yeah, they have their little scams or, hey, you're looking nice. Or yeah,
I'm a widower.
Yeah.
And creepy. I saw your profile, and I'm in Ohio, and I just think we would be a good match. I'm like, ew.
Yeah. Or I just get a friend request, and I go to look who it is, right? Like to see, and it's just some guy. You could see his pictures, like you could tell he's a guy. He's like schmoozing it up. He's on the roof of his the hood of his car. It's some sports car, and it's like I'm like, oh, what is this guy? Get the heck out of here.
I don't understand. But I'm sure there are women that fall for that.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Hi, Estira. Half those 90-day fiance things are like, oh, I met her on Facebook. I said to my son, how are they meeting these women on Facebook? He goes, I don't know. I've been meeting them on Facebook. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's nuts. And I did want to say this before I forgot. You had mentioned a long time ago that you, when you were a little girl in school, and you would be doing your arithmetic.
The one is the loneliest number.
I'm like, oh my God, I have found my twin out there in life.
You couldn't have that little one alone.
So I've always wondered, and I always had a real weird thing about colors, like red and blue are a couple.
Yeah.
And green and yellow are a couple. Just weird thought processes about stuff like that as a child.
Right. Just like I have to say goodbye to like the things I sell, like, bye table, you were good. Go make someone else happy. Yeah, I'm very empathetic to everything.
get very emotionally attached to clothing as well. I do.
Yeah, and then like you feel bad, like if something happens to clothing, like the clothing's going to be upset. Like it's like, oh, like maybe you did something the clothing, like why did I let that get ripped, or why did I, it's like, what can I do with that clothing? Poor, well, I'll put it over there. If you have to throw the clothing, you can't donate it or something. Yeah, it's like bad. You feel bad.
Yeah.
I feel bad. The moths that hit my car as I'm driving, like,
oh my gosh,
the toads. I get the toads that go
ruined.
across. Oh my gosh! And if a bird, like the birds, you freak out. Like, well, what's wrong with the birds? Why are they flying into the car now? Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Just like Alfred Hitchcock said it would be.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Worms, snakes. And then I'm riding my bike around the lake, and I see like the smushed little tiny little snake or the salamanders, and then I have my neighbor that makes it worse because she's walking around, she's going, watch out for the salamanders, they're out all over the place, don't run them over with the bike. So then I'm like oh my gosh, and I feel it bad. I go back, if I think I ran over one's tail, but he was okay. I try to move, she's trying to move him across the road. I try to do that too. It's like, but then I'll be getting off the bike every minute, so I try to avoid them. Crazy. I feel bad for the pine cones. I take the pine cones in my basket because I don't want them to get smushed on the road. It's like, it's bad when I'm riding my bike. It's a lot of empathy. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah. It's just funny. It's just funny how kids turn out, and who knows what makes us think that kind of stuff when we're little and what leads to the evolution of it. I don't know.
Yeah. Lisa H said she always goes back too to see if something she hit is still alive. She's late for appointments because of it.
Somebody was talking about they name them, like not they have a child that accidentally, was that Jeff? And you drive by a couple of times because
I think
they haven't.
He said the deer or something that are on the side of the road.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, that's horrible.
I say prayers for them, like anything that I see on the side of the road.
A poor kid. There goes Mo.
Yeah.
Will they ever come get Mo? Very sad. But that's like that here in West Virginia. Deer, I mean, man, they're just out there waiting, daring you. They'll stand in the road. I dare you. Come on.
He's saying hashtag pray for roadkill.
All right, well, I'll let you go.
Okay, well, it was good talking to you.
But that Pam woman, boy, I
that's crazy, right?
Help seeing that picture, and I'm like, ooh, Cindy.
Yeah, that was great. That was a crazy case. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad to hear that he's cleared finally. He's
cleared, yeah. He's done. And too bad, maybe Sarah will come in and talk about it one time. Because she said she was in that group and stuff with that case and tried to help get, I don't know, stuff to exonerate him. So, yeah, maybe she will. Sorry, let me know.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks for calling in. Have a good day today.
But he's not licensed yet.
Okay, don't worry. I will, and I'll send you those restaurants.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Y'all have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Here in Florida, the lizards grab the windshield. Oh, here in Florida, they grab the windshield wiper and hang on. I would feel bad. I'd have to get them off. Have I seen the vintage Auntie Cuckoo? I have not. I guess you have another video up to entice me to see it? I'll have to check it out, Auntie Cuckoo. Some more vintage. Is it good? Is it worth it? Is it worth the trip? My sister will only let me in there for 10 minutes if I go with her, so don't go with her. You sent me a video, Lisa H. Let me see. What did Lisa H? You mean pictures, right? I have pictures. I don't have a video, but I have pictures. This is Lisa's haul. This is what? What is this from? Dollar Tree, right? So you got the signs. with the red truck. You got the red truck cups. I saw these. These were in boxes, right? These were in boxes. You took it out. And these are what? Are these ribbons right here? I think so, right? Ribbons. And then these tinsely trees. I don't know if I saw the tinsely trees. And then you've got this, the red truck tinsely one with the tree. And is it lighted? Looks like there's lights in it. Does it light up? Or is that just for decoration? I have those poinsettia. Yeah, I have those too. Then you've got some like silvery picks here, right? Flower picks. And then the Let It Snow. Okay, she's got something else. Let's see. This is October 18th haul next coming up. Oh, that was October 18th as well. What is this from? Is this from your Dollar Tree? Oh, these are gift bags. And then you got some stickers. Daisy stickers. Very nice. So you did a Daisy theme here. And then here you've got a baby theme. Okay. And then we've got also October 18th. Let's see. Oh, what is this? What is this, Lisa? I don't know what this is. This looks like a wrap present. Hold on, I've got to go back to the chat. I don't know what that is. Lisa, what is that? Lisa, what is this vintage looking box? What is this? Lisa? Walmart. 99-cent store. Marshall's old fashioned box. I got for $3.99. Marshall's old fashioned box? I don't understand what it is. Is it hard or is it just okay? And so this is Walmart here, right? These I know. Now that's funny. They have these same craft things at the Dollar Tree, right? But those are not Dollar Tree. Those look like and this you said okay. And then you've got some like fabric ribbon here or something, right? Okay, did I miss anything else? Because you said video. So I'm just confused. The problem is most who's a hoarder? Honey Hush is calling us. Are you calling us hoarders? It's okay. You calling us? I have some craft stuff around. I'm crafting like a fool. Did you see my houses? Who saw my houses in the dollar thing? Did you like the colors? I have to do a lot of work on them. They're not done. That's just a base. I'm crafting. I'm not a hoarder. I'm crafting. Oh, just pictures. I don't see where Honey went with the hoarding. I'm trying to go back in the comments to see. It's okay. I don't hoard old food or anything like that. So you're doing research in my community for hoarders. Oh, you are. You're doing research in your community? What do you mean? Your actual community that you live in or your YouTube community? Yeah, I watch every one of your Wii videos. Do you watch them? Good. My Wii, I like the way you say that. Wii videos. Your ex was a hoarder. He wouldn't admit it. He refused help. The fly is gone. Maybe he went out of the door when I let Sassy out and in or something. You fake snow on the roof. I didn't spray it. I didn't spray it. I dropped it on. Did you see my fake snow? It's glittery snow. Did you see it? But I have a lot. I'm going to do a lot. I have to do a lot. I'm going to see how much I can do with my Cricut on the bigger houses. And then I'm going to see if Jimmy can take his scroll saw and cut me out some wood doors that I can paint and then maybe decorate with the Cricut. I don't know. I'm going to see. Maybe some like 3 little windows in. I don't know. I'm getting a little doorknob. You need crafts, Angel Callie? Is mine from a spray can? Oh, you use a spray snow? Yeah. Maltese? Don't know, but that's what they keep asking for. Maltese here. My Maltese? My Maltese is sleeping right over here next to me. I'm not going to wake her up. She's sleeping soundly. She's not doing any of that dreaming and like that. She's not doing anything like that. Oh yeah, I probably will put some more snow, but I just that was just the first pass. I usually do when it's all done because it's just like just to give it. I have a lot to do. I have shutters, I have window frames, flower boxes, the door. I want to put the tissue paper in the inside so it gives a nice glow with the candles and all kinds of stuff like that. The price of a Maltese puppy here is $4K. Are you kidding me? You've got puppy mills all around you. Missouri isn't it known for puppy mills? Oh my gosh, I guarantee. Jeff, how much you want to bet? And I don't want a dog from a puppy mill, but I'm saying I could find you a Maltese probably for $500 in there in Missouri. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. I guarantee you by tomorrow I will mail you listings. Carolyn, really good. Casey registered Westie is about $1,200. So from a rep, which is $1,500 mine, you can still get a good puppy for about $1,000. Now, when you say good, do they test them for like what is the health testing? Because I keep hearing everybody's like, oh, get the health tested for this and that and the other thing. And then I find these breeders, I'm in the Westie groups over there, and then they're like, well, find a breeder that does this, but I'm not finding a breeder that does this. But I found one that's, Paul Lazan bought her Westie from. I don't know. I'm so confused, Diana. And then I was asking J Bells, I'm like, can someone just go to Scotland and get a puppy and bring it back? And she said, well, the dogs are in quarantine, but if it's a puppy, they might make you wait a long time for the shots to be up before you can take it out, because she takes her dog in and out and in and out and in and out. And so I don't know. I have a lot of crazy stuff going through my head, but yeah. Oh, I will email you some stuff. Have you ever heard of Madonna from the Mills? Or, oh, I know a lot about puppy mills. Yeah. They are at everything. Really? Yeah. Oh, email me and I'll send it to you. The Glamorous Life. You say very good, but they have a lot of puppy mills. Kansas does too. I can tell you what states do. Okay, there's Ohio, lots of them. Doesn't mean that every breeder in Ohio is a puppy mill. Lots of them. There's this one guy that put Indiana to Scooter. She had 4 litters at once. And the guy is saying, no, she's not a puppy mill. And I went to her page, and honestly, I will say, it didn't look like a puppy mill, but it has every red flag in the book. But she has the pictures of the dog, and the people in the chat are like, no, I have too many red flags there. And then, like, I don't know, it was just crazy. But she has a Facebook. I was going there, like, she was showing all the dogs going to their appointment, and I'm like, what? Okay, 4 at one time? This is crazy. Plus, you will get the papers, everything. Okay. Remember what town? Do I remember what town? Yeah, I can tell you for sure. I mean, I can go back and see. Yeah. But she had 4 litters at once, and then she was saying like it was a coincidence. I don't know what it was. And this guy had the first pick of the litter, and it's a good Westie, 4,000. Wow. Really? Kansas. Yeah, but they're still there. They're still there. I'll show you how to find them, Wildlife. I know how to find them. So I'm telling Jeff, I know where they are. I know where they list. I know it. Lancaster, Pennsylvania has a lot. And now I'm hearing up by the Finger Lakes, they have a lot in New York. Yeah, because I actually did like some stuff with, to them to find out. Missouri, lots of them. Um, Kentucky, lots of them. Some puppy mills don't use machines. What do you mean machines? I don't know what you mean by machines. Don't use machines. Really, Nana Jules, where? I'm sure there are mills, but breeders. Oh, yeah, I know that. But like, if you look and you study puppy mills, you'll see the highest concentrations. I should do a report on it. In Brisbane, Australia. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. That sounds. Oh, that's good, Diana, yeah. Alabama has them. The town next to us was so full of pups last year. It also slowed down because of dog races. Illegal to buy a dog in New York City? What are you talking about? My daughter just said there was a she was at a where was she? At a pet shop in Manhattan where they were selling puppies. How can you? It's illegal to buy a dog in New York City? I don't think so. Put up a flyer in the community you live. Oh, do you know where I live? In the middle of nowhere, no traffic light in the town, Janelle. Oh yeah, I saw a real one once, and she had not only a puppy mill, not only a puppy, and they got busted. They had a bird mill too with exotic parrots. The wife did the bird mill, and the husband did the puppy mill. I know our principal adopted a greyhound once. Too many dogs. Yeah, April, but you don't understand. I have to have a Westie, and I just cannot go through. I cannot go through another like hereditary health issue. So I have to do what I can to see what kind of testing I can get to get the best line in. That's why I'm paranoid. You don't have a traffic light either. I've rescued dogs, all the time. As a kid, we've rescued dogs. As an adult, I had a beagle basset hound that had something wrong with his arm. We rescued him. It's not that I'm against it, but I need to have a Westie. And I just cannot go through getting Westie and getting a rescue where I don't know where they came from, and then having problems with the kids or the other dogs or the health that we don't know about. I just can't put myself through that. I have to do whatever I can to make sure, because my dog should have lived another easily 6-7 years, the way the Westies live, and you see it in the group, so I know that there was an issue. I don't think so, Janelle. I wish, but I don't think so. Can someone on the computer New York City law about selling dogs? Here, I'll do it. Can you buy I swear to you, my daughter told me the other day. not that she would buy one in a pet shop, but they were she just went in there because she was upset about our dog. And they had... Okay. Where to buy a dog in New York City? Puppies and dogs in New York City. Where can I buy a dog in New York? The 10 best pet stores that sell dogs in New York, New York. Tell me. You can buy a dog in New York City. You can buy anything in New York City. Really? Yeah. Oh, nothing, but some lady, I went in the Westie thing and I said, does anybody know this breeder? Okay. And somebody said, yes, very good breeder. I got my 2 girls from there. And then some lady said, Carolyn, I'm going to message you. And she messaged me and she said, the lady was very nice and everything. And it's not that she thinks it's a puppy mill, but her Westie, here's what she said. I'll read to you what she said to me. Okay. She said, come on. Okay. Hi, Carolyn. I saw you asked about the name of the breeder, right? She said, in 2016, I got my dog, I'm not going to use his real name, Frederico, from there. I wanted to let you know that at 22 months, Frederico was diagnosed with inflammatory brain disease called meningoencephalitis, or GME. Basically, something triggers an autoimmune response and his white blood cells attack the brain. Vets don't know what caused it, but believe there may be a genetic component, as Malteses tend to get the disease a lot. We are absolutely devastated to get that diagnosis, as it literally came on overnight. He has to be on immune suppressive meds for life. Most dogs eventually relapse from the disease and die. Again, no idea if it's genetic or not, as I'm in contact with all of the dog parents from the litter. All the siblings are healthy, and we did so much research purchasing from this breeder, but since you asked, I figured I'd let you know what happened to my dog from there. Despite that, Frederico, not his real name, has the best personality and was so easy to train him as a puppy. Again, don't want to blame the disease on the breeding, as the vets don't know why it happens, but figured I'd give you my experience with the dog from that. There, especially after what you went through with your sweet pup. So then I said, do you know who the parents were? Because I want to ask her who the parents were of this, right? I said, did you call her and tell her? I said, that is so sad. And, I said a bunch of other stuff. And she said the dad's name was, I'm not going to give his real name, Barley Pants, not his real name. The mom is Pocahontas. I don't know, not their real names. I did message her and let her know, and honestly, she said she was sorry and stuff, but never really followed up. You would think she'd want to know in case it was genetic. That kind of bothered me. I didn't get a puppy mill vibe at all. Not at all. We went to her farmhouse and got to meet all the pups. We got the pick of the first litter, actually, because we put down our deposit first. But who knows? I don't know if things could have changed since 2016. I know that at the time she was breeding, as was her son, so they had 2 litters back to back. I'm so sad to hear about your Zoe. That is awful. She was so young. I have another Westie. He's 7. He came from a backyard breeder, because honestly, I didn't know any better. And he's so healthy. With Federico, We did our research and we spent $600 more on him, and this happened. Go figure. Thankfully, he's doing well. And then I told her a bunch of other stuff, and then she said, all his litter mates are healthy as far as I know. We have a little Facebook group that we post in from time to time. I know she's not allowed to give names for privacy reasons because we were looking for one or two of the litter mate families, and she told us she could tell us, which makes sense. I can tell you that she's not a puppy mill, or wasn't in December of 2016. And Federico turned out to be easy to train compared to my first Westie. Very smart. Whatever you do, don't go to, and this is one they recommend in there. Don't go to, and I'm not going to give the real name. I'm just going to make a fake name. TTF Farms. Even though people on your post got their pups from there, they are absolutely a puppy mill. And I said, I saw that. Yet people recommend them. She says, I know, so frustrating. That's my thing. So what would you say? What would you say if she said that? Would you still go to that breeder? Would you make sure that they're not the same mother and father? What would you do? Would you say, scrap it and go somewhere else? Thanks for the input. I don't see anything. What do you guys think? Is my chat stopped? Is my chat broken? What's going on? My chat's not moving at all. The last thing I see is random guy Jeff saying, Diana, Mulroney, not a bad idea, really. I'd scrap it. I don't like that she didn't want to hear about the illness. Yeah, I'm not getting a fuzzy feeling, right? I'm not getting a fuzzy feeling on that. Sharon says go somewhere else. They look nice, and they were very long. Like when I went to the Facebook page, like Paula Zahn got hers there, but a lot of them 16, 17, 18, and it was good. But that just scared the crap out of me when she said that about the blood cell. I just like, I can't. Only had one letter. Yeah, Evie? Yeah, but I don't think it went through, Stephanie, because you can buy one. No, I'm just thinking about this dog thing. Find a breeder where the breeder says they will take the dog back for life. Well, then they're telling me that they told me in the Westie thing that there's some test you can test that tests for hereditary things, and there are some breeders that do it, but you have to ask around. But every breeder I say, it's like 3. I don't know. Where are these? Then they say, go on the AKC site and just buy from whatever they say. But then one of the ones on the AKC site is, I'm pretty sure it's that kennel that she just told me is definitely a puppy mill. That's what I'm saying. It's so damn confusing. No, for a couple of reasons too, Scooter, because number one, with what happened health-wise, not temperament. Oh my gosh, Joey was great. The health thing scares me. Also that even though it was in their house, it's a long story. It's a long story, but there's like stuff I suspected there. And I tried to talk to somebody, and I did. I talked to a lady that got Yorkies from there, and she's like, I got the same vibe, but it's nothing. It's not a puppy mill, I'm telling you. And she told me, and she talked to me, and she said they were the best dogs she ever. Just, I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know. So no, I can't. to be listed. All they need to do is basically, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Go by my instincts, okay? No, believe me, I know about rescuing dogs, but you don't understand. This is, I do rescue dogs, but I need, I want to, once you have I need a Westie. And I have other dogs and I have kids, and rescues that I'm seeing, number one, I don't know where they're from. I don't want to set myself up for a heartbreak again. And I know that I'm not guaranteed that there's going to be nothing wrong buying from, but I want to do whatever I can to prevent going through that at that young of an age. Well, that 1x2 scooter in Indiana, she has a waiting list like you can't believe, but she's also the one that had 4 litters at one time. And then, but when I look at the site, it's crazy. It doesn't look, it looks like they're in her house. I mean, I don't know. It's so weird. Oh, you sent it to me, Janelle? Okay, but somebody also said in the Westie group too. Yeah. No, I know that. Well, this one wouldn't have extra ones either. This litter is not even born. My Zoe would have checked out at the vet too, Pitbull, but a hereditary disease like a blood disease is not going to show up. Nothing would have shown up before that for her the way it was. They don't test them like that. You're in the UK, right? No, it's not like that. Plus, a lot of them have issues with either they have been abused, like, so they're skittish. They're skittish with kids. They might bite. We have too many people here, and I don't want to. I can't have a lawsuit. Believe me, I know. I just can't. I'm sorry that it seems that. Believe me, I believe in rescuing dogs. I've rescued many dogs. She went to Norway for one? But, oh my gosh, how is it 5? What the heck? It's 5:35. Where was the timekeeper? Last I heard it was 3:33. What happened? Okay, I have to go to, I have to go to bed. See, you can't guarantee, no, I know that, Pip. Believe me, but I'm trying to say I want to do whatever I can. It's hard, believe me. My dog just passed away in my arms at way young of an age for that breed. I saw her suffer. I know what I'm doing. I know what I want to do, and I believe in rescuing dogs. But it's just I can't. I have to have a Westie, and I don't want to get myself in a heartache because I don't do my homework. I do my homework, and that's all. Yeah, I know, Texas woman. It's hard. I know that. Yeah, I know. No, it's not. That's not what it is, Pitbull. No, and I've never. No, this is actually long for me. I mean, thanks, April. Yeah, I'm okay. We're just talking about a puppy. It's okay. We're fine. I just want to. It's hard to find the right breeder. See, I call out, and no, everybody was right, but it then went from 333 to 5 something. Yeah, April. Thanks, your best friend. Buy the test. I've had both too. Yes, I totally. I've gone to the SPCA and we rescued a Beagle Basset that had a little problem. We used to say, he's not handicapped, he's handy-capable. But yeah, it was a great dog. Wonderful dog. Wonderful, wonderful dog. I've had rescue dogs like my whole life. And so yes, I had a Brittany Spaniel that was a rescue dog. Yes. But it's just, yeah, so anyway, thank you to our moderators. Thanks for the fun discussion. Okay, thanks, Angel Callie. Thanks, everybody. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good day and have a good Monday. And, Frazee, but yeah, we're going to get few thing. Yeah, I know, Pitbull, but there are some things they can check for. All right. Everybody take care. Have a great day. Bye. See you tomorrow.